Able to play the first two games, to be honest. But I hope everybody out there has been able to do so. It's NAVI Team Liquid battle for second, as we're already in week 6. Defense for NAVI, attack for Team Liquid. Let's get the show on the road here on Fracture.
All right, the TL fans getting rowdy right off the rip. And I'm excited what they have in store for us starting out here on attack. One of the big changes, I think, is with the Raise and Breach, a lot more room to attack the north side of the map early on, with Harmii pathing on in, though he meets cNed's Frenzy just in his mouth.
Already, it's going to have to come with a few trades. Shao's been able to lock himself into the corner and still delivering head after headshot. And it's Redgar all by himself. Not much health to work with, unfortunately, and slowly being closed into. Good time flash to assist Angel with the push, and that's NAVI. 1-0 on the board.
Yeah, a bit tough there on the attack from Liquid. They were walking into a 3-stack on that site, and then also just with Harmii sort of pathing into sight, I think the util follow-up there just wasn't quite there, so he falls. Then everyone's stuck behind the Viper wall. Ends up being a very tough situation for them to be in, but a good defense there out of NAVI. And we'll have to see them continue to come up with answers, because I think we are going to see a lot of these B hits with the Raise, primarily working up towards tower. I think that's one of the best things you can have with a Breach in the comp. It makes attacking that area of the map much simpler.
I do love that we're getting to see even the battle of the Colosseum, right? The two sides of the stands chanting at each other. That's pretty good. I was thinking of things to talk about today with this new switch. It's been quite an interesting endeavor seeing Harmii come in. Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's going to be a big switch up for the team because Safe has just been so fantastic for them. But, you know, I've heard the Harmii Army. Is that what they call it? I saw someone typing that in chat, and I was like, that makes sense. I dig it.
Yeah. Got a few banners out there as well.
It rhymes, so you might as well
Happy birthday to him as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Quite a day to get on the server. But of course, them being at a big advantageous position here, Team Liquid won't be able to do that much. And it's clean work for the Bulldogs, just yapping at them one after the other. They'll all get bit into the ground. And the Jamppi's position as well, notified. Although he's able to take one down with him and a Bulldog collected in his arms, might be able to find a bit more damage here.
Yeah, Spike is see all those lions? That means instant death when he comes around the corner.
Everybody's watching.
Yeah. You know in Breaking Bad last season when he breaks into those people's house and then it's like you have the red dots on them? That's literally what that moment was.
It's like, I can't do anything. I am dead.
Except in this case, there's actually guns behind them. It's not just
not just laser.
Spoilers.
You know?
Anyways, getting back to the game at hand, I will say one of the things that I just saw from cNed, and if he continues to play over towards B, which he is switching up this round, but I like the idea of just throwing out his clone the second like a concuss hits towards tower, just having that body in front of you. So the first thing you're going to be shooting at is probably that clone, and then either you're getting the flash, or you're just sort of using it as a little obstacle up towards tower. But one of the big switches for NAVI is, of course, bringing the Fade into the composition, which has some nice pairings with the Aura. There's also less like flash overlap, but we'll get into that in a moment, because right now cNed is just murdering Harmii. Harmii jumping in front of the team there, so no option to trade.
Definitely already a bit disadvantageous losing a player early on, but soulcas able to bounce right back up, put his team on equal footing. Of course, not much space has been garnered apart from that A main position.
One of the nice things about this defensive Viper wall that NAVI has thrown is that it sort of allows you to play without sand control on the retake if you don't want to, or you can sort of isolate that fight first and then run out just straight on towards the site. You don't really have to worry about taking that 180 angle. So TL going to work back over towards B. It looks like Redgar still has held on to 2 smokes. That's going to be a big thing we end up watching because they are switching to a single controller composition. Redgar needing at least 2 always on these hits for that B site.
Camera taken out.
Angel with first contact here. With the aftershock, can the smokes to line him out does mean for a certain retake at this point, unless anything too overzealous happens if they push through smokes. But it's a spam through a smoke to end up with a kill against Jamppi. Angel is actually considering it, isn't he? He's thinking about it. Has he been walked past? I think soulcas has been able to sidestep here and may enter a smoke himself. We may be looking at some very dirty fights, but the fact that so many picks have come through within the smokes themselves, it's already a bit too messy for Team Liquid.
Yeah, just a million spam kills here. Nat's now having to seek out a fight. He has to find something. He gets ahead, but it's not a kill.
And they need heroics, they really do. They need to act quickly, but Nats is so low. Can he find a headshot here? No. Zyppan quickly to act on that. So soulcas is left to himself. They know where he is. He already showed his position. A bit of a kill there at the end, but still the diffuser for NAVI keeping the streak alive.
Yep. Navi not really giving any moments there for TL. After they get the 2 kills through smokes, no one really overextending on their own too much. Maybe there was the peek towards Canteen, but holding to make sure Natus wasn't going to push on his own cage there was absolutely massive. This is a tough situation to be in. Losing everything. Does look like Brimstone from Team Liquid was able to pick up the ultimate in that round, so they're just farming orbs on him, playing between A and B. So that could come into play, but of course that is a 3rd round swing round after losing the first 2, so they are not going to be able to go back into this one.
How much of a fan are you with the way that Navi like to play this map, whether that's the composition or their style? Personally, I feel like they do depend quite a bit on these duels that, you know, cNed might be forced to do in clutch positions and may end up rushing the time too much, given what they've done in the past.
Yeah, I think every time I've seen it, like, I'll see a couple of, like, more unique moves with the Yoru, but a lot of the time, as you say, it's just cNed fragging out. That's the second time he's held that position, second time he's been able to kill Harmii. But I will say that switching away from the KO to the fade, I think makes a ton of sense. That's not a kill that should actually be happening. And all of a sudden, this round becomes very winnable for TL if they can get this ult back.
Yeah? Orbital Strike doing its thing. cNed is no more. If guns are collected here, very fathomable. Phantom to the hands of Jamppi. Bottom-sided up against the Chu. Needs the head. Oh, he does retrieve it, but up against the wall still. Able to close the deal, stick the landing. SUYGETSU, though, able to destabilize him, but soulcas is there to deliver right back up. Shao in the hot seat. Tough endeavor. They know where he is.
He hears a camera.
Yeah, Cam. Trip by ahead of him. Revealed? No. Denies it, but still, 60 points of health up against the full health team of Team Liquid. They've been able to bounce this back. It's miraculous, really, to put them on the board so quickly. Shao has to desperately smoke himself off, but the more he waits, the more pressure is on him.
There's nothing you can do here.
Absolutely nothing at all.
Perfect hold with the wire. He's just looking for any kills he might be able to find in this. He
Or
gets
looking
the one,
in that
but
direction.
what a round right there from Jamppi,
Yeah.
just stealing it away. Redgar having the ultimate, of course, ends up being critical once they find that opening kill, because Jamppi gets this one, just insta-headshot, then a body, all of a sudden means 1 rifle, then this ultimate where there's nowhere for cNed to go. I think he used the TP after finding that initial pick in A main, then just fell back onto site for the second time. He gets punished after that little maneuver. So respect there to Jamppi, cleaning that one up.
I mean, it's good to see them already on the board and on a round that it wasn't expected from them. Get that momentum flowing for them. It's important, especially when you have a player that's never played in VCD before.
100%. And I mean, he has been falling early. Harmii has not mattered just yet. We'll see if they can get him online, because now they supercharged 2 ultimates right there. soulcas, Jamppi both got theirs. They were 2 and 3 off respectively. So without winning that round, they wouldn't have them coming into this one.
SUYGETSU. Prowler won't be spotting him. Double blast back. Oh! Harmie's actually alive to get a first blood here, but still, it's a 3-on-3. Close contact. Spike to be planted, but Navi on the outside waiting for the smokes to deplete.
Jamppi has ultimate here. When the retake tries to come in, he can slam that out from heaven, swing with the rest of the team. Could just be a counter ult here.
Yeah, quite a bit of ultimate and utility usages available for this retake.
Here it comes. This will come out, and then we'll respond with the Rolling Thunder.
Ooh, I think it was avoided.
Yeah, they all played back from it. Really intelligent.
Very nicely done, but now they need to go for the chase. The more they wait, more time will run out. Zyppan, cNed moving up close and personal. Flash to his hands. Nats has to look away, and he's able to do it right on time. Zyppan turning right back and around on a different front. It's Jamppi to himself, but Angel on the flank retrieves both left for the opposing side. And it's Navi with just enough time to get that spike diffused.
Wow. I don't think Jamppi knew the flank came in. I think his teammate died to a player down on site or something, because he did not react to that whatsoever. That's gonna sting. The late flank there from Angel paying off in a huge, huge way. And I just think the calling on this too, because it's a 3-on-3 retake.
Wow, what a reveal.
2 kills through the smoke off his own. Okay, that's fantastic. Then also dodging away, knowing that the breach ult was gonna come in. And then here, yeah, he's trying to take the fight on site first, I believe. Not aware that the speed up is coming behind
It's
him.
so confusing with the Swiss jerseys. The one with the Navi jersey is EMEA, and the other one on the Team Liquid jersey is Doombros.
These trolls,
It's
man.
so difficult. Making it even harder for us.
Okay. Nice little track right there on the Jamppi. Gets the kill, and then now the camera goes down just for permanent control down over by stairs. Still not going to stall to hit out because they know the operator wanted to jump off the site. Jamppi with this ghost is just nasty.
Okay, Harmii just moves through smoke without any trouble. Of course, his team has been able to help him by taking the space off of the site.
I'm convinced there's been more kills through smokes than just straight up with sight.
Okay, Jamppi's able to find a gap to work with the snake bites. No, he's actually being burnt alive. Poor man. cNed to the back of the site, looking for heroics, instantly taken down by soulcas. This is a brawly fight, quite messy. TP onto the site. Harmii there with a corner to work with, nicely positioned, and now it's down to SUYGETSU. So many close endeavors, so many 1vx's. And SUYGETSU looking to see if he can keep NAVI with this Shriek Prowler to his face, able to deliver with the finishing blow onto that one, but with not many bullets remaining, cannot find the final kill onto soulcas, and that means that Team Liquid are on the board again.
Yeah, this time it was TL winning the spam battle. I think SUYGETSU got a couple. Oh, sorry, soulcas rather got a couple. I always love it when we get a packed arena here at the Coliseum. It's a good time. It's been a little while since we've had like the warring fandom. Great shot there out of cNed, seeing the jump peak, and there you go. Yeah, soulcas just seeing the tip of the head over on top of that one. I did notice, so they've been operating on this Yoru pick, but that round it looked like it got sent back to the Omen on the retake so that cNed could get a little bit more active on that one. Now he's got a rifle for him. It's actually a northside crunch. And there's the punish. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, Nats takes the fight initially, isolating it down. It does mean A side is left completely open, so I like this move from TL. They're going to try and reclaim control over sand. There's no Viper wall on this A site, so the retake I was talking about earlier, not possible.
But this time around, they're going aggressive. A maneuver they haven't really gone for thus far. Two posted up next to that CT angle, and one up against the rope. They're going to push forward together with a flashpoint, so we get to caught off guard. And with NAVI now trying to find their way back, it's Shao to do the heavy lifting all by himself without any reinforcements, really. Still a 3v3, but the time still ticking down. Harmii holding his ground, very nicely done, but Showstopper coming from, and Angel knows where he's coming from, looks behind him, delivers the finishing blow, but still gets killed off himself. Angel doesn't have time, ends up being killed off as well. Team Liquid are able to stabilize to get 2 consecutive rounds.
It's just a fantastic response there from Team Liquid. The protocol immediately, okay, north side crunch, we push into spawn. Because you have to commit 4 people at minimum if you're trying to make a play like that, right? Nats trades 1 for 1, knows exactly what's going on there. So they make the immediate call. We push into spawn and hold the ground there. The kills get traded out a little bit here and there, but all things considered, TL on top.
By the way, this is Jamppi's mother and father, I believe. Okay, I just got an update on that. It's Jamppi's father and
the twin coach's
mother. All right, got that right. I think at the end.
All right. Maybe we confused more people than we helped. It's really impossible to say. The good news is, family doesn't matter in Valorant. Because now they're sworn enemies on opposite sides.
Family always matters, man.
Trading
Have you learned nothing? Family always matters.
I haven't watched enough Fast and Furious. That's my bad.
Fair enough, fair enough. Oh. What's been a theme so far for Team Liquid, I feel, is the fact that they've always been able to gain site control, and the fights always happen on the post plant.
Yeah, for sure. I think what's happened a lot is it'll actually be cNed finding an early pick and then TPing back, whether it was when he was TPing onto site A and then getting spammed and killed or ulted and killed, or on B TPing off of the site. So I do think that even though TL have lost the first man in a lot of cases, you're right, they are actually getting the site relatively uncontested.
Ooh, might be a battle of ciphers here. Bit of sneaky positioning from Angel. Posted up fairly aggressively. They've got no idea. They probably smell each other at this point. Oh, who's that?
30 seconds left.
Someone nearby. Where is he?
Oh, no, he does smell him. Oh, no.
The Hound of Angel has been able to be
And now he takes a big whiff and gets the location of everyone on the map.
Yeah, peeks up his ears. The
Hold on,
comes out.
Angel can win this round 5v4. He's the only rifle. Now it's a 5v3.
Oh, wait a minute. It's all fathomable. And now they believe. Now there's a quick reassurance as this is very doable. Harmii, the new player of the team, tries to make it happen, but no, just too many players left. A bit too much to chew, and there you have it. That's NAVI on 5.
The Angel nose just too strong there for NAVI. I mean, what was that timing? They're both just standing in the same spot for 20+ seconds. And he's like, you know what? I should probably clear under me. Perfect. Nats is not looking at him. He gets the kill and just steals away that round. Looks like the economy fine for Team Liquid here, but yeah, that is rough. Gets the ultimate easily off of that one as well. think the Viper Wall even set up here makes it much more simple on the retake. Actually, every single fight they took, it was 2 players minimum fighting just 1 player of Liquid. So I didn't quite see if there was maybe some mispositioning on site from Team Liquid. They were stuck in spots where they had to take their one. I know Navi has been very good at using their utility to like flush you out of positions like slant over on B.
Insta-fault line orbital strike to try and catch out the player playing Heaven, but still doesn't catch a single thing. Zyppan maybe being able to get forced out to the bottom side. So many of the Navi players are stacked up towards this ace site. Team Liquid are walking into a trap, but doesn't even matter. Harmii with a stinger, lesser of the weapons, still able to find kills. Redgar finding the avenge of his own teammate, but still, this is messy, so brawly. And all of a sudden, Navi find themselves on the back foot, missing a site and missing most of their players.
It's got to be a fight there from cNed, but he falls to Nats. 3-on-1 now. The Spike still has to make it into the site, so they have to be careful as they make this happen. SUYGETSU needs to be able to find a pick, but yeah,
stun.
It's a perfect stun there just to get the Spike onto the site. Now they can plant, post up with 3 if they want, or Jamppi just takes the heckin' fight. On 1 HP, wins the round.
It seemed like the stars aligned for Navi there. They had all of their players ready and wait, but still, when Team Liquid are able to win off the fights, the trays right at the end, be on the site, be able to take off the crucial kills instead of the rotates, that's where the difference happens.
Yeah, Fracture, a map where you can rotate very quickly, but they didn't actually get out of CT, so it's just sort of like 1 or 2 players on site that lost to the stinger of Harmii there. You gotta love that one coming on in. And a very nice little move, using the ultimates at the start just to gain control of Sands so they could work just straightforward W key. Not worry about getting swung or any of those pesky flashes popping out of the smoke on Rafter.
Timeout coming out from Navi. It's actually a lot more scrappy than I thought this game would be. It's a very big back and forth between the two sides. Considering Navi had a very good early start, right? They had a 3-0, they won their bonus. Things started to align for them, but Team Liquid punching back.
100%. I think Liquid, when you work with such a short ramp-up period, right? You have to bring in a sub, especially like in the duelist role. Like, it just makes sense that you have more of these like out-of-the-gate plays. You're either playing like really slow, like, hey, everyone, you know, sort of play for picks, like we saw a couple of rounds ago, or it's like Nats trying to find a timing, working down into underpass, or it is just sort of set plays with the breach and raise. And I don't think it's like that hard to implement. Like, when Fracture got implemented and then Fnatic back at Champs was like, okay, you concuss tower, raise double satchels from north side, that's the move. Okay, and then you can find some variations around that. And I think you see that with a lot of these north side plays, which has fallen away a little bit, I think, as teams, especially in EMEA, have switched over to playing more of like the double smokes. We've even dropped the breach in a lot of cases. TL have been playing with the Sky as opposed to the breach for a little while now. Which means there's a little bit more room to like work down from the south side when you're not focused on finding the best lines for the breach, which is definitely what we're seeing a little bit now. Is
focusing on the bottom end here, Navi is definitely trying to see if they can find a pincer maneuver.
Oh, this is tough.
Portal closed.
But I don't think nobody's looking at cNed's position, and even if Nats turns around in time, he will get caught off. Rolling Thunder into the side, will be catching nobody. But Harmii, look how far he's been pushed over. The paranoia is so damn good. Shao gets 2 before he drops, and that's the end of Team Liquid's attack.
There's just nothing you can do now. Both players scattered. soulcas has to find something on his own. He won't have help, but there's 2 players there. Zyppan takes him down, and now it's just one after another.
I feel like Jamppi's going to give it a go. There's no reason why he wouldn't. Spike still up for grabs, even though cNed has just illustrated his position with the opening of the door, throwing a flash as well for good measure, giving him that 1v1, and it's cNed coming out on top 6 for Navi, stapling at least a draw at halftime.
Yeah, cNed getting a little bit frisky with it there. Will secure the round, and that actually loses the ult out of Jamppi too. I think one of the things that perhaps is missing when TL play these slower rounds is with the fade in your comp, using the Prowlers early to watch for early pushes. They maybe could have had some more information. Because right, they pivoted into this play trying to crunch into A main, but it's all slightly delayed because they're the ones getting aggressed upon. They'd actually pushed so far forward towards the spawn that the breach ultimate didn't accomplish much of anything. That ends up being a bit costly for them.
There's so much ultimate availability here for Navi as well. 4 in the bag. And definitely making the economy of their position quite shaky. Bulldogs, Guardians, it's quite an uncomfortable buy for them.
Does cNed have a shorty though? That's what I gotta know.
That do be the question.
For the ult into shorty little pop there.
Too shorty or not too shorty?
There you go. Well, the nade breaks the Cypher trip, so that's unfortunate there for Angel. Now some options to take up towards Heaven, but Jamppi doesn't have the stun, so I think he used that very early in the round, about a minute to 50 seconds, when that'll be returning for him. But until then, not many moves you can make. Because apart from the stun on the refresh, it's just a flash for Jamppi, so they have to take their time, and that's allowed Navi to get in very nice positions, full control over A main. They're anticipating a B hit now.
I think they're going to try and take a stand here. No retake
There's
shenanigans.
the concuss ready for Jamppi.
Face your fear!
Nightfall. Harmii not moving up on tower. Angel's going to stay there alone. Missed timing there. Zyppan is able to catch him. Harmii's definitely going to be punching himself for that one, but Nat moves forward, misses a shot. Thankfully, soulcas is there to retaliate, but the Paranoia's already come through from spawn. They need to account for that angle as well. Angel misses the shot. Jamppi on the strings, being ultra effective. Doubles up as well. How is Team Liquid winning all of these fights?
I mean, Redgar with the lurk just into spawn, never going to be ready for cNed. It's cNed versus the world here. And TL get to retreat. Spike planted open for them. cNed theoretically could use the ultimate to try and clear out towards tower.
What's crucial about this, Nats and soulcas are low. One bullet anywhere on the body should do it. Sneaking forward, soulcas. Oh, the missed look there. If he just waited an extra millisecond, he could have been able to spot out soulcas, but no, that's it. Team Liquid on 5, closing up the gap completely. And one round to differentiate the two teams as we are on the last round of the half.
I mean, it's just another situation where the initial hit gets botched a little bit. Harmii was out of cover when he's trying to double satchel into spawn off the Jamppi concuss, because that was the pivot. Right, there's a Viper ult on site. Let's push into spawn. TL called a lot of these sort of on-the-fly moves where, you know, whether it was the north side crunch or the Viper ult there, they're trying to work into spawn, which I do like a lot. But it's after that, that's where it works out for them. The second, third players into sight, showing up in a big way. Now again, 3-2 split over towards the B site.
Bit of a camera exchange over in B main. Both Cypher cams taken down. But when you look on the other side, Arcade, there's a lot of focus on trying to clear out tower.
Yeah.
Harmii pushing through this time around, not even able to use a showstopper, but he might have been able to build space for his team to move in right after him. That was the goal after all, but SUYGETSU gets still in position, hasn't been challenged yet. It's going to have to be a spray down from Redgar to take him out of that. cNed on the flank.
Sees two. And Shao's behind him, so he can try to pop in from the opposite side or flash his teammate in.
And he finds himself onto the site, super crucial. Does manage to destabilize the Team Liquid position, no longer being in contact with each other to help each other out. Orbital strike, Jamppi there to survive, but no TP coming out. He's coming in through spawn.
I really think cNed could have tried to flash Shao in, but they're trying to do this super lane lurk.
All of a sudden I thought Zyppan was on the cross to stop it, but it comes down to cNed through the smoke to end up with a kill. Jamppi and Redgar bringing things right back, and it's down to Shao.
Spike planted.
This is incredibly messy, but I've got an inkling that they have no idea where Shao is coming from. Slowly, Redgar will look in this direction, and that is Jamppi with a coup de grace. But 6-6 at halftime. This is so even.
Switching sides.
I swear, everyone's dying in smokes. I don't even understand it. It's crazy there. Obviously, clearing out the site with the breach will give him a much better chance, but every kill on the entry got traded out by some miracle, right? Jamppi always behind Harmii to trade out that initial kill. Then when whichever second player was on Navi got the kill, there's just a spam through a box coming out from Redgar, so that instantly goes even. There's so many kills that like just don't seem realistic to secure that both sides have been getting. I mean, Navi have gotten their fair share whenever the hits are coming in.
Look, I feel like coming into this match, there were a lot of things that we couldn't really anticipate. Even though we're familiar with the squads, Harmii coming in, destabilizing the situation within the roster. When it comes to expectations, where are you at right now, Ender? Because for me, this is quite a destabilized match. Both of the teams clashing and trying to punish their opposition at where it hurts most.
I think it's stabilized, and it's entirely due to the support here behind Harmii.
I see.
Because like, and no flame to Harmii, like it's hard to incorporate this quickly, but the entries he's been getting beaten on, right? They have not been going his way. But the fact is, anytime he does go in, they're always behind him, apart from like the first 2 rounds, I think, where he was extended forward and the trades didn't immediately come on through. Like, Jamppi has just been the GOAT in terms of getting those response kills for TL, and it's really been able to equalize a lot for them.
Definitely valiant efforts here. We've seen a lot of fights. And a lot of kills through smokes, that too. I think if we compile them together, we'd be already in the double digits. If you put them all together, of course.
It's like, I want to know the average of like spam kills per round this
I feel
map.
like Fracture is a map that you see it a lot of.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially over towards the B site. It's just there's so little cover on the site, and it's so hard to actually cross. If you go for the super safe plant on slant, then you're just getting destroyed by utility. We saw that happen to a couple of TL players that were hiding in that position. And all in all, I think NAVI, I liked some of their retaking utility that we saw earlier in the half. After the first few rounds, though, I think it was just like gunfight after gunfight. Not quite as much finesse in terms of what we were actually seeing on our screen. It was just a brawl.
Absolute brawl. Absolute gunfight after gunfight. But now we're entering a different frontier, switching of the sides, right? We saw Yoro on defense, the flanks. Now we'll be potentially having a look at him on the attack. Now with a fade, where does that strength come in now with that little switch up?
It comes with the robbing of your eardrums of the fade to do some fun things with the TP, whether it's the Prowlers catching you or the ultimate a little bit later on. Seizes 2. I think we haven't seen a ton of these set plays. We've seen a couple when he tries to get like down onto side on A, or maybe even TP up towards tower, but a lot of the times it's used as a repositioning tool later in the rounds, especially when they play a little bit slower like this.
NAVI positioning left-hand side, looking to creep core under the tunnel. Close contact. TP definitely heard by Redgar, relaying the info over to his teammates, but they do not move, they do not budge, stick to their positions. Shao is so close, knowing of Nat's position. Shao able to find first blood, unaware that he was so darn close. Nats also shut down early, and NAVI find themselves a clean B site.
That is just a gorgeous take right there. Relies so much on Shao actually winning that fight up towards heaven, but after that, everything picture perfect on that one.
I'm not quite sure if they know that Angel is so close, but even then, they know there's fights. They know that NAVI are willing to take that.
It doesn't actually matter because NAVI's actually given up that position. They have the numbers advantage, so they're now playing with one another. If anything's going to pay off, it's going to be maybe like this late second player if the spacing gets a little bit awkward here where you're not anticipating the 2.
But that's why NAVI are playing tower, right? That means they're no longer, you know, taking it back by a potential flank from CT, covering the flank of Arcade, and there you have it. The crossfires are just on point and in line to close this one out. NAVI, 2 for 2 for pistols.
Really nice. But this is sort of what I talked about, or what I was talking about earlier, with the breach and raise becomes like very easy to play up towards tower. The utility pretty simple to implement. You can double satchel up there. Without the raise, without the breach to do that, you have to be a little bit more creative. So using the molly, of course, to force them slightly off the angle, then pushing into it before it goes down is clever, while the rest of the team primarily is going down on the ground. Now, this falls apart if your tower player loses that fight, you know, isn't catching them by surprise on the timing and is losing out there, because then you have to, the players that are working on the ground on the site have to worry about multiple positions and tower, spawn, all these things as a possibility.
Coordination of macro and micro. Beautifully displayed. Now, Team Liquid, of course, with pistols, can't expect all that much, but overall, we see a bit of a stack towards the right-hand side.
Yeah, and again, because you're not running the Brimstone, you don't have the 3 smokes onto a site. You do need these lineups on the Viper, so nicely done there. Grenade just try and stall. Oh, no.
A finisher. I believe cNed had a Bulldog, right?
He did, yes.
So it could be in the corner where Jamppi could collect it, but he's too afraid that he's in the crossfire of Shao. So ends up sticking to the corner instead. They've held them back, and that has caused rotations for the rest of the Team Liquid players.
This is tough. Now as the smokes go down, I think you could potentially go grab that rifle. I swear he had it. I don't think your eyes are playing tricks on you. Yeah, pinged.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, thank you.
Validation. That's all we need.
But now the double back comes through from NAVI. And,
yeah, they were really hoping there was going to be another like flank player from
the double back.
Yeah, but see the potential weakness with this now is like it relies a lot on Angel finding this timing rather. Angel only has the ghost, so not too much risk there. But there's 2 players on dish. He has to clear out.
This is actually the best case scenario for Team Liquid.
Oh, this timing is so good for Angel.
Ooh.
And it was with the fade eyeball, too, that they're able to make it happen.
Harmii and Nats are able to hold on, though, and it's down to timing. They have to get onto the side quickly, but it comes down to the fight. It's Team Liquid on top with the pistols. Incredible!
Oh no! The initial kill there, it's all set up from Jamppi's Ghost again. So Jamppi, I believe, concusses this, is spamming the box.
Oh, beautiful.
See, he gets concussed and is spammed by the Ghost.
And
then
the
he
paint shells.
TPs into the Ghost. Jamppi is just a pistol god. Like, I normally I'd be like, oh, you're going for the Ghost over the Sheriff. Really? No. I trust Jamppi in that one every single time.
And for anybody that has just joined, the reason why the person in the Navi t-shirt is screaming is because it's a mill and they've switched through their t-shirts.
They're trolling everyone.
Yeah.
Because they appreciate a good joke.
Imagine if they've ever done that in Prac, you know, just showed up on the different teams' Prac.
I'm not sure that just benefit and hurt both of them. I don't know.
Probably.
Bit goofy. I can get behind it though. Okay, so 2 rifles for Navi here.
Possible content.
Sure, why not? Might as well. Okay, so Prowler was just used in A main. Out of TL on the defense. Angel finds a fantastic timing, and this side's just going to be open. They know a couple of players are probably playing towards A because the Prowler is broken. They have control over tower, so they're just cautiously walking out here, hoping they don't get spammed. But how good's the util going to be to try and clear this? Yeah, exactly. You have the C4. Do you have a concuss? No, Jamppi doesn't have it, but they have the spam. Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
And that's why you can't plant there.
That's a good incendiary. Buys them a little bit more time, but they have to move in quickly. Redgar to lead the charge here. Looking for a spray shot into the smoke to potentially give him a free kill. soulcas moving out of his own shadow, and there you have it. Slowly but surely, Team Liquid are able to lock down Navi players left and right. It's Shao that tries with the Sheriff as much as he can, but the end to that is this round. 8-7, Team Liquid find the lead.
Super solid retake out of TL. Yeah, they lose the player towards tower. They have to full give up the site. But after that, from the C4 on the planter to the spam communicated in, the Brimstone Molly up towards Heaven too, which allows you to scale onto the site, right? You can't get swung up from tower, so you're actually able to get in this position where Harmie's just getting a goofy little kill there with with the nade. Not the nade, the blast pack, that's the one.
Mm-hmm. Satchel, as many like to call it.
Sure, there you go.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
Unless it sinks. I don't know where I'm going with that one.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's floating your boat, it's probably not sinking it. Maybe I'll leave the idioms to me today.
Yeah, definitely.
You can be my little idiot.
How do you want to react to it? I'd say thank you. Anyway, let's jump into it. I'm always the idiot in this duo. You're the smart one. Everybody knows it. Anyway, Nats on site, already taken down. Site B, fully under control of Navi already. Team Liquid looking for the retake. I'm looking to what they have available. They've only got one flash. No, yeah, only one flash for Jamppi. Still smokes for Redgar. This is actually a difficult retake considering the util they do not have.
Yeah, the 2 players down towards stairs, though, could be big. Watch the reflank down sewers. I think it's SUYGETSU that's been able to go into underpass here.
Ooh, sneaky, man.
Oh, that's tough. The smoke actually giving a little walkway for the defenders to get back up ramp, but they hear everything that's going on.
Yeah, but not SUYGETSU. He's tiptoeing his way behind, and he'll be able to find impact slowly. soulcas moving forwards, shutting down Angel, but there you have it. That's SUYGETSU finding his way to the back line, and just off of the back of that, the rest of the team peaks, and that's the end of this story. 8-8, Navi want to keep things close.
Yeah, the wrap down underneath just guarantees the round there for SUYGETSU. Again, anticipating some of these flanks. It's the second round we've seen it from Team Liquid, with the early Prowlers and A main control TL are playing for as well. Very crucial that Navi are aware. And I like the idea of, instead of just trying to fight it right off the bat, have someone hard holding the angle, you're trying to catch them on a bad timing when they're actually fully committed into this flank, not giving those players any way out. It looks very pretty on them to shut that down completely. And I think Team Liquid are going to have a new idea of how they want to attack if they do end up wanting to go for the flanks. They're going to have to, commit eyes down there, commit a Prowler down into underpass perhaps. But this is where I ask the question.
Yes.
You call a timeout, but these are twins, right? And everyone knows that twins are telepathic, right? They know what they're thinking. So can you actually tell your teammates anything? Because then your brother hears, Emil says something and Doombros is like, no, I know exactly what he's thinking. This is what they're doing.
Do they just five-head and think the opposite of what they want to do? And the other twin reads it, and I don't know, man.
Right.
That's
or
like
you
4D
think,
chess
you think
right now.
one thing, you say the other. Yeah.
I feel like
Star Trek chess.
That's a completely different dimension of the game. Just adds a different element.
Yeah, yeah.
Telepathy. Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, maybe that's the questions we have to ask in the interview. Because who's prepared for, I thought it was the Redgar up for a second. He traded it over to Harmii. I was like, whoa.
Wait a minute.
Oh boy. Actually, soulcas must have bought that and then they juggled it around. So soulcas is a very sad boy.
Yeah, I want to see where
Just
Harmii
the
positions
sheriff.
for this. He's going to try and see if anybody pushes through Arcade, but no, it's Angel. First blood to his name. soulcas going to have to get forced out of that position. Ooh, but that's going to reveal where everybody is.
Yeah, and they actually hear the sheriff shot too, I believe, so not too concerned about this side hit. Looks like Teal want to play it more quickly though, but they're just getting, again, shot through smokes here, looks like.
Trying to see what Team Liquid have got going for them, and it's not much. Yeah, you can see that they're gonna have to force out of this one.
It's safe.
Yeah, just hide away, save the guns. They've invested into it a lot, so losing it is quite detrimental.
Yeah, I think the tough thing when you're putting like arrays on op on this map, for example, is that it's harder to make like the early aggressive plays on defense unless you're using your like big heavy util hitters in terms of like Jamppi playing off his own utility with soulcas behind him over towards Dish, which I don't necessarily hate. Breach is not the worst at playing off his own stuff, just like the concuss can just hit that, swing the corner, but at the end of the day, you don't have that same sort of like, oh, we have the paint shells to fight, so we don't even have to PQ, or we have the ability to double satchel in and instantly play off that. No, that's not going to be quite there for them. So they need Harmii to be gambling correctly on which angle he's holding, which is an impossible ask. You just have to have the reads on your opponent. So maybe TL can do some help there. Good news for Liquid now. 3 players with the big ults, Jamppi, Redgar, Harmii, just 1 point away from those. They only have the 3 rifles they saved from the last, but this is a very doable round. Jamppi has been insane on the pistols, just 1-2 rounds straight up for his team. Could be possible if he gets the Rolling Thunder online with the kill here as well.
Can't afford to lose too many
And he gets right.
simultaneously.
Perfect.
Yeah, very nicely done. Can they keep up with this advantage though? They can, Redgar. They've only got 3 rifles and they've made 2 of them work thus far. Navi, big deficit already.
And TL relax here. You get your 2 kills, shrink back onto the side. No reason to give early fights. The more time you bleed out from your opponent's clock, the better.
Questions in their head.
I actually really like this idea from them too, sort of re-aggressing on the north side. If this ends up being a B hit, that could potentially be a double flank for them too. Always making sure they're in positions where they can sort of hold hands. Meanwhile, Navi have to group up with 3 towards the north side. But with the setup from TL, you've got 2 kill trips on site, a camera too, that Nats can tap into or even save for the retake.
Shao's going to look behind at the same time where there's going to peek over Jamppi and Redgar here.
Yeah, so at the second the camera gets broken, here comes the double flank. Perfection. soulcas can still potentially scout into A main a little bit later if he wants, but they know it's going to be the B hit now.
Nats knows he's got a crucial position to hold, but he also knows his life is as crucial as anything.
Sorry, can we go back to that tripwire?
Gap through the smoke.
On my wire.
Nats could play with it.
30 seconds left.
Oh, but it's Jamppi instead, already on the flank. Rolling Thunder there. Neither spike plant, no, it doesn't even do that, but I think the story's already been told.
Last player
Already
standing.
pinched in, nothing they can do. It's a clean pincer. And just like that, Team Liquid collapse upon them. They haven't dropped a single player, and considering they only have 3 out of the 5 rifles available.
I mean, just the opening frags right there. Harmii, Redgar, doing it well. The mid-round calling from Team Liquid has been solid as well. Bit of a gamble taking that fight when you're on the lower buy, right? Just the 3 rifles, you take those opening gambits. All of a sudden, very winnable for them.
Ooh, Angel frustrated.
I mean, you consider how many rounds Team Liquid have won from being at sort of an economic deficit. That one not bad by any stretch of the imagination with 3 rifles, but that has got to sting just a little bit. How Navi have been unable to find the trades, whether it was the jiggle peek over towards Dish or, you know, just the fight in main from cNed where, yeah, it's a really tight angle. You're not going to be able to trade that one out, but it's just a tough spot to be in. Oh no, who spilled water?
No.
Who spilled water?
Are they really? I
That's
think,
for sure what happened.
That's definitely what
He had
happened.
to bring out the nappies. Think they have that in Premiere? I don't think so. No tech
Oh,
pauses.
that definitely happens in Premiere. But whether you can
You just
tech
have to
pause
fight
with
through it.
You're just going to fight through it, man.
It's like, guys, my W key stopped working. I'm gonna play anti-flash the rest of the game. Turn around, hold S into the site. But I'm sure they'll get it sorted in a moment. And it was confirmed.
It was confirmed.
It's a water
Great guess.
This is why pro players need sippy cups.
True.
Yeah.
Truth. Basically, you're stating that pro players are little children that need help.
Look, I don't often reference League of Legends when I cast.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
it's pretty cringe.
This is your one
But because
go.
we already did it earlier today, I have to say, they've had sippy cups before. So all I'm saying is that, look, you have a couple of years. Oh, no,
Oh, we got the replay of the spill.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
Disaster has struck.
I mean, everyone knows you got to keep the corners of your mouth tight there. That's just a hazard.
But I feel like he grabbed the cup too hard. He pinched it too hard and it just broke the cap.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely got a drinking problem.
He's too strong. I think that's the problem.
Too strong.
Drinking problem, yeah. Fair. I see you.
Could be either way.
Could be either way. Seems that things have dried up and we'll be getting
Look,
to
as
the
long
sun
as it helps the
shortly.
gameplay, you know, who am I to
Truth. All right, back into the game. I think this is kind of important to reiterate, right? Okay, albeit the memes, the bro-mance? I don't know.
Oh.
It's not really bromance. The bromance between the two bros of the coaches. It's a competition. It's a competition, but they still love themselves. I'm trying to make sense of it.
Do you
now.
want to unpack this?
I want to unpack it.
Oh,
but-
perfect. The
All
game.
right, thank
the
you,
game.
thank
Yes,
you. All right,
lovely.
back into the game. Don't need to unpack that anymore. Yes. It's an important match because this
It's
could
so important.
tie second, third place. Could decide it all.
Number 2, number 3 teams right here. And, I mean, NAVI just walked in to the crosshairs of Team TL in the last round, lost their initial fights. TLF love to fight over A main control. You know what? I love having Breach back on Fracture. I've missed it a little bit. So good on the defense and just locking down that area of the site. They've been sort of ping-ponging whether it's him or the Fade. And I'm getting a little bit nervous. Because yesterday, you'll all know, that we lost our monitor for a quick second. We just had it happen again, so just a warning in advance. If we start saying things like, wow, they're playing with such grit here, and you just think we're talking absolute nonsense.
Or if you
that's
go
what
dead
happens.
silent and
Yeah.
let the game speak for itself. It's
That
probably
could
because we
also
can't
work.
see what's going on.
Here we go, some scouting. Does he go sight? Yeah.
Showstopper for
Like,
Harmii.
guys, there's an ult in heaven. Get out of here.
Oh, could be good timing with the paranoia because cNed is able to TP right behind them. Nicely timed. And now he's got full control of the site. Angel delivering on his own fight. Some Team Liquid are already well, they're phased by it, very much so. It's Jamppi, though, trying to go right back after Angel. I don't think Angel has any ideas right behind him. soulcas wins his own fade, and we're already back to even. 3 versus 3. Spike going down. And then with the Nightfall falling, Team Liquid have to subside for a little bit. Flash coming through. Should we get to the deal with 2? But it's Jamppi to win out on the fight. It's a topsy-turvy. Team Liquid back on top.
Yeah, Shao's trying to sprint up to Zyppan. Actually, no, deciding to take the ones instead. No ears in play, but he's taking the fight.
They know where Shao is. Jamppi's able to find him, but now with Zyppan's revealed position and with a fault line available, not quite hit. No, it actually is successful. Zyppan, he knows of the bait. Jamppi going forward. Does he even know of it? Zyppan is the one to come out on top with 7 points of health to spare. It's NAVI first to double digits.
These rounds are just pure chaos, man. Like, what is going on? NAVI find 2 opening kills. They're aware again, Team Liquid are just activating on these spawn flanks over and over again. Here it ends up getting traded out at the end, but now we get to see some of the POVs of how it actually all played out. Zyppan living on just 7 HP at the bitter end of it all. And it comes down to the initial hit was really nice, using cNed's ultimate to clear away from tower, the paranoia too, like you called in the moment. Just to make sure, I mean, Harmii, it takes forever to pull out a rifle afterwards. He tried to switch into the shorty. It's a little bit faster, but didn't even matter because he didn't quite have the sight line. Now, wait a second. cNed does see this angle with the camera.
Ooh, good timing of the swing.
Wow.
And gets out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Jamppi is holding the concuss out the entire time because he has a trip to cover off A main and the camera to watch dish, so nice defensive position.
And you can't anti-flash a stun.
This is true.
Jamppi locked on sight here. Snake bite, falling position, not allowing him to drop back. Has to play very close, which is always disadvantageous. Flash coming through, push forwards from Angel, ends up dropping. Jamppi is still alive, and he's got another flash. Zyppan pre-fires it, does eliminate the player eventually. Viper's Pit dropped to get the spike down, but it's still so close.
It's another flank, using this ultimate to try and stall the plant, but it still goes down.
Very smart positioned.
2 players into main, but it's an operator in sand from Harmii. He has the nades to try and clear out some space, but he's not gonna have a fight. It's gonna all come down to soulcas and Redgar.
Well, these paint shots need to be very accurate. Coming off of the back of the Prowler to find Zyppan. Spray coming for Zyppan, it's so low! Oh, and eventually the paint shots do the job. So much splash damage that he ends up dropping still. So we get to his low. Shao alone, very healthy, but soulcas is being burnt alive, still able to chime some bullets through, but it's Shao to come out on top to give NAVI the dub. Oh, 1 player remaining, and the round for NAVI.
The responses I'm seeing from these teams, TL calls a timeout. So good there. NAVI losing initially the player to the concuss setup from TL, but then realizing, okay, this breach is isolated on site, so all the util comes out. It's a miracle that Jamppi gets 1 in this position. He's been having a phenomenal game. I have to give him credit on that. Okay, the second player just kills him while flash too, so I guess you gotta respect that. And then after that too, there was a really nice play, because I thought Harmii was gonna have like no impact of the round other than a random paint shell. But it was actually he threw the paint shell following a Prowler that had spotted the player on top site. So that's where that was in with the spam too. And I thought that may have been enough to give TL the edge, but playing around inside of the smokes of that Viper's Pit, it is still ultimately NAVI that come out on top.
I feel like this is where some frustration might start to kick in, because you get so close so often, but it's still NAVI starting to build momentum, start to streak rounds together. And Team Liquid need to cool off a bit. They're close every single time.
Yeah, well, TL have really liked putting Harmii in the op position, which I think makes some amount of sense, right? You know, you don't have to coordinate with him as much as you would with, you know, a player that's been with your team a little bit longer. But I have to feel like these flanks maybe not paying off for them quite as much. The operator, no armor, is in play once again as Redgar buys that for Harmii. And it's still going to be maybe an aggressive piece towards the north side. I'm a bit confused with his initial setup. I think Harmii's going to be holding stairs while the Prowler is used by soulcas to spot out any early arcade shenanigans.
Where are you?
Same spot from Jamppi as before. Camera in a new position, but still there to see a player that comes up here onto Dish.
Early push from Team Liquid here on arcade. Redgar posting up. We know that NAVI are wary of some shenanigans such as this, but still a trade.
Yeah, NAVI are just so ready for it. This is the first time it really comes in on the north side early in a round.
Ooh, Nat sticking around, actually.
Reaggress. Nats is so good at finding timings like this. Unfortunately, the shot's not there.
He's been unfortunate this game. 6 and 15 is his score currently. Not really finding success, even though he's got the right ideas.
This is such a timeout diff for TL. I love what they're doing, but instantly speeding up from NAVI. They know they're split up.
Oh, Harmii has to do so much. He's a solo defender of the site. He does have reinforcements from Redgar, but Paranoia thrown at him. Redgar's got to do the heavy lifting, and he does just that! Team Liquid being put right back in the fight. They get double digits.
They get it. Within 1 now for them, and I have to say that has to be Emil coming in, calls the timeout, and instantly you see a stylistic difference in TL. Yeah, they go for the north side push a little bit earlier in the round this time, looking to take a fight. That goes 1 for 1, but then multiple instances of solo players taking a shot in the mid round, whether it's this underpass move. Nats also looked for the late fight into Dish. No utility there to back them up, but that's the idea of trying to catch NAVI while they're sleeping at the wheel just a little bit. On their potential weaker sides of the map, as solo players have been lurking around a bit from them.
Bit of a revelation there early on arcade. Trying to figure out if Team Liquid are going to go for the same thing 2 times in a row.
So Zyppan has the ultimate now, and this is where we could see some creativity with cNed teleporting into the site. Even the Omen can get up to some funny business. They really were hoping to find some sort of early fight, scout out, see if there's going to be anything going down on the flanks, which so far there isn't, and the setup isn't really there for TL. I think most of the flanks have been with either the breach or the fade, so seeing some prowlers on that side could be big. Now no smokes. That is tough.
And Harmii wasn't able to retaliate either. Untraded, but scratch that thought because he's able to scramble out with one himself.
So it'll end up being a reposition into A now for NAVI. They still have the Fatal to hit the site. That'll really informed them of where Jamppi's been playing. He's just loved being this anchor on A. But then coming in from the north side with cNed, can use the clone to break that one. Just one off the ultimate now.
30 seconds left.
Fault line coming in right as Nightfall gets activated. After
The
shot to
TP's
delay.
going to take him topside into the corner there of the stairs.
And he does just that, but Jamppi anticipates it, so smart. It gets the Rolling Thunder in time, but he falls before it's enabled. 3v3, 15 seconds, they've got to act quickly. They can't cross the site. The crossfire is being covered, but the smoke covers it, but there's a bit of a gap. Nats is able to peek through it, delivering. SUYGETSU within it, stopping the push. Harmii alone, operator, less than optimal weaponry, but picks up a Vandal, but that reveals where he is. In for relay, pushing a bit further. Smoke deplete, and Zyppan takes the action. 12 to the rounds, and one more remaining for them to close Fracture out.
SUYGETSU, man, with the push into the smoke right there. Absolutely fantastic. It was going down to the wire. So little the time to work with, especially when Jamppi finds this. But the follow-up kills are there, and then this, just seeing barrels stepping into the smoke. Not afraid to take a chance. And that's something we've seen from NAVI. These players peeking forward, pushing into their own utility. Taking the advantage in the post plants. It's been a slight edge for them, it's now a fight.
A dry peek. It doesn't end up costing either side.
It's
but
crazy,
it got
though.
Scary, man.
It's crazy, though, because again, if there's no contact there, I think they just keep on walking. They go for something. Now, look at this, again, late mid-round regress. It's gonna be on the north side. Harmie's walking with an operator while the rest of the team is pushing down into arcade.
PTP right back.
Yeah, but they may force him back into the operator crosshair.
Oh!
Check this out, yeah, easy
What is
kill
this
for
game?
Harmii.
They've just switched up positions. Who's attacking? Who's defending? I have no idea. Rolling Thunder coming through. Not yet. Waiting to the optimal time to use it.
Now they're gonna come in with the rest of the team. The
It
rotations are
catches
through.
3, and now they're going to start moving in. On the 1 minute mark. Not even any pressure when it comes to the time, but they're still pushing up quickly. cNed, how is he still alive in this all crucial position? He's surrounded by players.
40 seconds now on the clock. Waiting for a smoke. Shao just got the smoke, so here it goes.
Team Liquid have allowed Navi to just waltz in like this, but they can simultaneously swing. It's a Guardian double kill from Nat. soulcas putting his pistol to the test as well. It's down to SUYGETSU. If they want to close out the map right here, right now, avoid any possibility of overtime, this is where it happens.
Harmii has ultimate. Harmii just send the ultimate on spike tap and the round is over.
Not much time. Taps it once, faked. Showstopper to his position. SUYGETSU needs to read it quickly, and that's Harmii delivering the finishing blow. Team Liquid looking to square things up, looking to take this to OT.
You might scoff at it a little bit, 2 versus 1, but I'm always here for using the ult to secure the round. Keeps Team Liquid alive. And now Navi with a chance for Doombros to come in. Have some reads against what TL are doing, because that was nice, what they did with that late push on the north side. And Doombros surely has read this, surely has figured it out. And what does this mean for Navi? It means either you're acting more quickly, or you can't leave solo players in the mid-rounds, right? Multiple times now, there's been one person playing on the north side, getting caught out, or walking down underpass, getting caught. And that wasn't a problem for them previously. I think largely you can send solo players to get some stuff done on this map. But with the way Team Liquid have pivoted after their timeout that Emil called a couple of rounds ago, it has been really nice from TL. And I think that Navi, if they can realize, hey, there's a lot of heavy early play. What do TL go for? It's either an A main with 2 or 3 players, it's arcade, or it's B main. Okay, if we can scout that out with our own fade, remember they took out the KO, they have the fade, they can use the prowess to see the early push, and then instantly pivot to the other side. TL have been comfy giving up sites completely to play on a strong side of the map. And they just have to be able to move quickly into that weak side with Navi and then win out in the post.
Final attempts at motivation here. All but a strike, crucial for Redgar. A well-placed one could be round-changing.
The fight will be over A main, and see where Angel is. He'll hear any utility thrown out there from TL and is actually playing aggressively to maybe fight off his own trip. Or if they're running at him, he can just hit the zip line and escape towards the north side. But this is what I was talking about. It's tight, completely open, just the Cypher trips. And that's gonna try to spam off.
What a trip! What a trip! Anticipating the TP.
That's crazy.
Brilliant. And cNed is no more. Such a difference making so many of these rounds. soulcas on the rotate. Nats is there to see him. They both draw back from it. Know that there's too much to risk.
Yeah, it's the rare solo push from TL on the flanks. They give that one up immediately. If you have two players,
Nice
they're
time.
instantly sprinting on it.
Look at the spray down on Zyppan. Orbital strike doesn't catch anyone.
Ooh. Lost a moment there on the reload to spam the players escaping, but they're so good. Look at this utility on the retake.
They throw it
nowhere
early.
to hide.
But the thing is, it doesn't catch anyone off guard. Shao trying to push through. Priority in this direction. He's in the smoke. But it's Jamppi with a shorty. Shorty madness. Could be the last round,
just
but
got
no. Angel picking up a kill. Zyppan through the smokes. They can spray through the smokes. They've got the line of fire. That's all they need to do. Redgar touching it again. Coming off of it and getting another kill. It's still close. Can this team hold his back? It's SUYGETSU with a triple, but it's all by himself against Jamppi. It's all the mind game. Jamppi not sticking it. It's all a mind game. That's SUYGETSU as red. NAVI closing out this map. And in what a fashion. It couldn't have been closer than this.
SUYGETSU, oh man, so clutch out of him. A couple of rounds there. There's a smoke pusher right there at the very end. Just Giga Chad not swinging on that last tap when it got into the 1 versus 1, not even giving him a shot there to take that early fight. And I mean, all things considered, so close. What you'd expect from our 2 and 3 teams, and this is TL playing with a sub. They just barely get beat out by NAVI.
Props to Team Liquid for bringing things so close, especially with a sub, but that got NAVI sweating, that's for sure. So I'm sure we'll be seeing another banger later on in Bind, but for now, take a chill pill. We'll be back very soon.
Nice, guys. So good. Good job! Let's go! Let's go, boys! Let's go! Nice! Nice! Let's go! Woo! Bravo, Zyppan. Сука, блядь.
Face your fear!
What is happening? Unbelievable!
Red Bull gives you wings.
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
Usually when I see a target, I won't miss. I try to find weaknesses wherever they are and just game by game try to pick up on anything I can. So this training course is a way for me to really showcase and demonstrate all the questions you guys have been asking, you know, how to get better aim, and it really enables me to answer a lot more and kind of expand on the first video I made like so long ago about Valorant fundamentals.
NAVI solidified their position with the first win on their own map pick, Fracture. But my oh my, did it go down to the wire because overtime was in play. That was a pretty pop-off match, exactly what we expected.
I didn't expect it to be as close, considering the situation for Liquid, not having Safe on the team and having Harmii in.
Yeah.
I said I wanted to see a good attacking side from Liquid, and I'm pretty happy that I got it. 6-all at halftime, really good showing from them, and it felt that they had a really good reading onto what NAVI were trying to do on this map.
Absolutely, and you know what? I'm still looking for a really, really convincing NAVI win. I'll be honest with you, I'm still missing that overall on the board. Seeing right here, though, it is sad. It is heartbreaking, kind of, that Team Liquid actually got that one snatched out of their hands when they were playing so good, even without Safe. I would even go that far and say Liquid would have taken this series if they would have played with their usual lineup, and even though they have still played a great game right here.
I mean, that would have been a different universe. And it's not the universe that we're currently in, because right now, we're where Navi won 13-11. A couple of hiccups on the way. It didn't feel as smoothly as maybe we wanted it to be.
No, not when you consider the fact that NAVI won both pistols too. Like, they should have had a good springboard over this, but we saw some really good thrifties from both sides in the end. But I think Liquid went into this map trying to play a lot faster. They see and know and expect the comp from Navi, which is a whole nother topic in itself. They know that they don't play a breach. It allows Team Liquid on the attack to play a lot faster, and it's just a pace that Navi can't really shut down in a lot of times. A lot of those A executes on the side of Liquid were really tough, and there wasn't really too much of a response from Navi until individual clutches came in.
True, but I would say at the same time, it was not just only rough pushing on the attacking side for Liquid. There were also good mid-round calls, and we saw it at 40 seconds. They have swapped sides again. But here it got a little tricky. Here it got a little interesting, because things were looking so possible and so doable. And in the end, it is a 1 versus 1. And I think this is something we really need to emphasize, particularly about this second half. It was not a convincing Navi. It was not like those rounds, yeah, easy execute, we get ourselves 5 people on the side, we're coming out with 5 people. That didn't happen. It was insanely close from the Navi side of things. Liquid pushed them quite far. Yeah. There's so many moments that I could think of right now where I thought, like, okay, this could have turned the other way instantly.
Yeah, there are also a lot of moments where both of the coaches were like, oh, what is going on? Because the games were so incredibly close. And as you mentioned yourself as well, Ryan, it was those individual pop-up performances, rather. Are they still swapped shirts?
They're still swapped shirts.
They're like polar opposites in terms of reaction.
So it looks like Doombrush is cheering a lot, but it's actually Team Liquid winning a lot of those rounds in the end. Now it seems to be Navi that are on top looking at some of the reactions, but it really did feel like, I think in the battle of the coaches, I do think that Emil won this one.
You know what's the worst about those two? The matter of fact that they even have the same haircut. You cannot
They did that on purpose.
They 100% did that on purpose. They have the same barber for sure. But yeah, valid point. I think it really seemed like at the end of the day, Emil was seeming. You know, when we talk about expectations, right? We would absolutely say this is a Navi pick. This is a Navi full roster. This is a Navi actually looking good on the map. And I fully agree with what you said right there. Emil seemed to be absolutely on top of the game on finding a good adaptation to the Navi with the resources he has.
Yeah, it did feel like potentially Navi was really easy to read this time around. They had individual performances as well, pop-off plays from Shao, for example. had a great game, and those individual performances again coming in to secure some very crucial rounds that could have swung completely the way of TL.
For sure. Like, I feel like if Shao's not in this kind of form, it really does go Liquid's way, and it could have been a lot more dominant for them in the end. Just rounds like this, I think this was off the back of the breach ult being used on the attack, that Shao's been able to hold his ground and face up against such an attack-facing team.
Yeah.
It was those kind of moments that as soon as things start to go a little bit iffy, they start to rely on Shao and SUYGETSU to win out some clutches, like in the second to last round.
Yeah.
Those were the moments where NAVI were comfortably winning. But when it came to the macro, the big picture kind of play, I think that's where Liquid looked like the better team. And most concerningly, NAVI looked the same as they did last time, which is not really anything that we've ever said about NAVI. It's like they've never looked readable, but it seemed that Liquid had a really good read on what they were trying to do with their comp, with their playstyle, and most certainly with like the Euro from cNed as well.
Yeah.
No, I mean, most importantly, they've done a change again about predictability, right? Change is a big word, but they've obviously went back to the fade, and it didn't feel... It felt like there were great reveals that we've seen again, right? Where you absolutely had an easy retake simply due to that. But I still felt like it was not, as you've mentioned, this big change that caught Liquid off guard. And maybe this is something Navi is going for right now. Instead of always swapping around and being a surprise factor, actually saying we're sticking to one composition or some core of a composition, hardly change anything up, and perfection that part.
Yeah, and also the fact that Harmii is on TL. I mean, I know you're a very big fan. Yeah, okay.
Give me that guy.
I know a lot of people in the crowd are a very big fan as well, but it felt like the start for Harmii was a little slow, but once he found his pacing, he was there.
Hey, his attack side wasn't good. I'll be brutally honest. The man was overall involved in 7 entry duels, won 1 out of 7 on the attacking side. That looked miserable. But when we swap sides, he has been performing significantly better. The operator was put onto him, making things a little bit more simple, and he was actually hitting some good shots, some classic entry, some good aggression. And also, he seemed to become more comfortable. The first half, he seemed shaky. He was doing weird central plays. He couldn't really entry onto the side, but it became better round after round after round. The pressure of the Coliseum, the people all cheering for Harmii, that's something you first need to soak in and really need to process it and be like, yeah, now it's better.
You really start to thrive towards the end.
Yeah,
That's crazy considering like we've obviously have a lot of substitutes coming in, but that kind of performance from somebody that's not even really played at that competitive level at all is staggering. I can't wait to see more.
Yeah, and one of the players that we highlighted from Navi was cNed, specifically saying that that's one of the players that has had pop-off performances consistently on both a national and an international level. But bringing in Harmii, yeah, I know you want to jump in.
Harmii's better than cNed, period.
Yeah, but Harmii's also better than Nats. Nats are the worst easiest than both of them. So
I don't care.
Harmii on top?
Harmii's the best player in the league, period.
It was funny because the players that we highlighted of cNed and Nats before the show were the ones that were sort of like really disappointing overall. But it was good to see the rest of the team really sort of build up into it, and especially Harmii coming in on a difficult role and filling safe boots did really well.
Yeah.
I particularly agree. I mean, it seems like the comfort of the predictability is the issue with the Euro on cNed, right? Basically meaning that obviously Euro is not that straightforward and also cannot be played as diverse as a Jet with a dash, for example. And pretty much this leads to the issue like you are in those set plays sometimes. That can really be punished.
Yeah, and that was very heavily punished, actually. A really good spot from you, Ryan. We have a clip that we can roll exactly how scary it is to be playing against Team Liquid.
And this was something that consistently happened, right? We have Nats setting up a pretty weird trip when you consider some of these executes that are coming in. And that's because this is what I mean. cNed using the same sort of rollouts, the same lineups, teleports right into the trap and is easily killed on the side of Team Liquid. But it's not as if that was the only occasion. We saw times where Jamppi gets fully flashed. He's playing on the A side. He gets fully flashed. Here's the TP and instantly peeks towards the corner where cNed comes out of that teleport. Like, that happened consistently. It's weird to see Navi being the team that Liquid are going, oh, they're gonna stand right here and we're gonna kill them every single time. It was odd, and it was egg on the face of cNed a little bit, but it felt like the whole macro of the game was a little bit off using that again.
And it perfectly ties in with what we mentioned earlier on not sticking to a Cypher meta when Killjoy is so popular, not in the particular map necessarily. And this is where he, comes in with innovation. This is what makes him so good on that agent, is that he consistently finds a way to punish opponents. That was a prime example of it.
Yeah, it also brings a question in terms of the next map that we're going to be heading into. If you're already this predictable in Fracture, I mean, we haven't actually seen them play Bind yet, but how much of the previous compositions can we be expecting going into it, and how much is Team Liquid going to be able to read into Navi?
I mean, it's Navi for one. When it comes to like playing this map in themselves, like they had really good form previously, but Navi are also keen to change stuff up a little bit. Liquid, it's so much harder to say with Safe not being in the roster, kind of how they were going to look, how that might adjust and change. Like, they literally changed their Fracture comp, which was a good map for them today. Maybe because they were trying to anti-strat Navi, maybe because of Harmii coming in. So Bind, it's going to be really hard to gauge what they actually put out in front of us.
Yeah, and most importantly, you know, we can work with something off the side of Navi because that core exists for a while, right? In Champions, when they played, for example, versus the side of Exit, there was with SUYGETSU on the Viper, Artis on the KO, Shao on the Fade, Angel on the Brimstone, and Zyppan on the Race. And I would be surprised if they stick to the same composition right now.
All right, surprised that they stick to the same composition. However, they have been quite readable, as we said it already, on Fracture. So maybe not too surprised to see what they're going to be whipping out today.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, right? Are they sticking to classic things? Yes, they do. Jamppi on the Sky. Shao is going over on the Brimstone.
Have we seen much Shao Brimstone in the past?
No, we actually haven't seen it ever.
Okay, yes,
Another Yoru, let's go.
All right. I mean, this is kind of interesting. We've seen a few teams in the VCLs do particularly that, have the Yoru in, but usually it was never a single duelist comp. It was always paired up with a Race who has the capability to satchel in. This is something we don't have on the Navi site.
I mean, there's no Sentinel on the side of Navi as well. They're running Sky and KO. KO was something that we did see Navi when they were FPX flirt with a little bit on this map. There is a step out there, that's for sure. It is nice to see Nat still on that Viper, consistent across a lot of those maps that he'll play. And soulcas again on that Fade. Like, it's a comfort pick for him, and it seems that you look at the Team Liquid comp and it makes sense. You look at Navi and you go, yep, that's Navi. Weird stuff as usual.
We're already deviating away from the Sage comfort pick that we're seeing in the last two binds.
Neither of these teams are comfortable at it. Like, they'd like to make it harder for themselves overall, but these are two teams that want to try and innovate the map a bit more, so maybe aren't relying on good old Sage.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And I mean, once more going in, for example, what we talked about Liquid and the M3C change, you know, getting those two players over. They are doing basically what they have done. Redgar's also playing back on the Omen that we're used to see. So I'm not too surprised. It pretty much looks like they have taken the M3C comp and put it on the Liquid suit.
How are we expecting that to play out, though? Because for Liquid, this is their map.
Yep.
Everything for them to lose in terms of not solidifying themselves in that second position. Whereas Navi, you have that buffer. You have that one map already in your pocket. You can go onto Bind, you can do Navi things, you can just come out swinging, be unpredictable, hopefully.
I think the good part is about Liquid, the matter of fact that whatever happens, they're high energy. They're super positive. They are never like looking, oh, we're down, oh no, you know, we might losing this game. No, they're having always fun, in particularly a situation where they might be absolutely the underdog. And I think this is something that, with those unknowns that we're having, a super crucial factor.
They've got better every single week of Liquid.
Literally.
I think Navi have sort of experimented a little bit. They've stayed somewhat consistent with how they want to approach stuff. So yeah, Liquid can sort of lean into this a little bit more. I checked with Shao as well.
Yep.
He's only played Brimstone 3 times. It's not like I don't think that he's unable to play it, but it's still something that's a little bit more fresh. We're used to seeing him on the initiating role, but as we saw him play Omen on Fracture, he could still clutch out and have insane performances on a controller too.
I think it very much, one factor it comes down to, obviously, is if Harmii now also feels super comfortable. Because I would say the first half of Fracture, I'm going to leave that aside.
That was a warm-up.
Yeah, it felt literal like a warm-up. And if he's going to, especially on the attacking side, find his success with the satchel plays, Navi might have a tough time.
Well, third bind of the week already coming your way. We're going to be heading straight into it with Enders and Pavlos.
That first game was quite the banger, very, very close, and I'm so glad we get to see Bind, and I'm so glad we get to see it with Yoru as well.
Yes, I'm a huge Yoru sympathizer, especially on Bind. I think it is so good, like the amount of things you can do with his teleports.
Yeah.
Going through the teleports, the fake TPs, the clones as well. Like, I think it gives you a lot of flexibility and pivotability on the attacking side, especially if you're using, you know, your Vipers, your Smokers, to, like, get effective lurks up. You can very quickly pair up with them and get a lot of stuff done. So I'm so thrilled to see, and I'm glad that we have always got Navi and Angel cooking something special.
I mean, with the changes, we'll see a lot more pivots, a lot more quicker rotations, and with the Yoru, that will just be increase even more. So that's really epic to see. We'll be heading directly.
And more is better.
More is better. More is good. Most of the time. Just don't overdo it. All right, Team Liquid on defense, Navi on attack. Heading into the action, everybody, here in the Coliseum. Navi, if they win this, they close out the series. Team Liquid not going to go out without a fight, especially on their own map pick.
And I think they may do a little bit of early fighting here out in the sand from Hookah. See, actually, it's a contact play from Team Liquid. I thought maybe it was just going to be a flash, but they could catch a great time. We have to go to the sky POV. Look at this. The timing catching out cNed.
Jamppi, double body shots to get 2 kills.
Destruction. I mean, look, they might have lost on Fracture, but Jamppi did everything humanly possible to win that map for Team Liquid, and already a fantastic start. Any round he has a pistol in his hand, you better be concerned.
And if you look at individuals and their performance, just like we did with Jamppi just now, I think the player that we need to see perform a little bit better is Nats, right? He can be quite the difference maker. And last game could have been a little bit better when it came to his performance. I wonder if he'll find the opportunity now on that Viper.
I mean, this is just a classic map to lurk up with the Viper, especially when we get over to the attacking side for Matt. So we'll see what he has in store for us. Now, things have equalized a little bit with some kills coming through, but this is a situation 2 versus 3. SUYGETSU deciding to split away from Zyppan, maybe try to find some kind of a rotation. His game sense is good, just a little bit early to actually catching out Redgar there, but should be able to plant the spike regardless, which is a big win.
Big win indeed. It gives them the positional advantage to play as they please. Paint shells weren't even damaged to SUYGETSU at all. Very
He went
nicely
inside
done.
the tube, which is exactly the right call. Blue screen of death has hit Harmii. It's a sad life he's living right now. Oh no!
Harmii! Sheriff first round enjoy is really going to enjoy this.
SUYGETSU with it.
Now Zyppan alone. He's tough. He's stuck in the middle. Will be surrounded. Can he isolate? That's the question. Paranoia. Oh dear. Blinders at bats.
They're in the walls,
goes
man.
in drive-by.
They could be anywhere. The paranoia hitting him every which way. That is brutal. But a lovely little start there. I like the idea. A bit of a gamble, just going for the straight-up contact play out of Hookah. But actually, the read being, right, no raise, but also with the raise nerfs, I think we're going to see a lot less of like early just Hookah defaulting with the raise, because the Boombot just doesn't reach that far to be able to clear out all of Hookah. So you're not as worried about scouting utility being sent against you. If a Sky is dogging it, usually she tries to step up and take a much closer position before hunting into that one. So Team Liquid, I think, might be able to get away with a lot of these, slower, maybe contact-type pushes. One of the other weaknesses, potentially, or overcommits, I guess, of Navi's comp is they have triple flash redundancy. Sky, KO, as well as the Yoru. I think that Fade is something that could have been really nice, either just pairing with the Yoru in general, or maybe in place of a KO.
I think a big question here is, what is this Redgar skin? And what can it do on the server? A double kill early, SUYGETSU. He's scared to cross the rear. He's already seen 2 of his teammates just collapse in front of him. And Redgar's got an inkling that he's got another to deal with. So SUYGETSU, in panic, has to drop back.
Yeah, sorry, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I don't know what I'm looking at there. Oh, man. Yeah, just completely shut off.
I mean, Redgar's throwing 2 smokes, and every single time just walks into them. So scary to deal with.
Yeah. It is worth noting, just sort of like to remind you all how Bind is played a little bit, especially at the pro level, because it's actually pretty rare, I think, that in your own ranked games you see double smokes like the Viper come into play on this map. But this Viper wall, popularized back with Masters 3 champions, it just allows you options like Mind Lurk timings, solo, up, down, A short. It also means that if you have a Sky on your comp, you can fight through that wall and flash anyone playing in the close cubbies back on that A side. So just a lot of value post-plant 2, options to bring it down if you have U-Haul control and fight back in your planted spike. So it's really a jack-of-all-trades wall that is going to get thrown down most rounds on attack.
Good early start here from Team Liquid, of course. They didn't manage to win a single pistol round last map, and now entering the Logitech power-up round. Let's see if they're able to find the quality that Navi were able to do. As they were successful quite a few times on this power-up round, many times shutting it down, creating some very early tempo.
Caught early, right there what TL are trying to do, because they're throwing this sort of ancient times Viper wall that just blocks off showers, is they can throw out the early eyeball from the Fade and then throw up the wall and look for a spam kill off that potentially. The double swing gets quickly forced off the issue now, and you can see Navi just using so much utility to flood out that U-Haul angle, making sure they can't get swung on that angle and they can focus on sight.
cNed's very familiar to what we've seen before.
No, that's so smart from Nats, because all the utility went down the second he has a pathway in. He takes the fight, soulcas takes the fight back towards Showers. Now it's just 3 players, and without Showers control, you're just fish in a barrel. Navi are getting murdered.
We just shouted out Nats for not being able to find too much impact last game, and he's quickly jumping out of the bat with some performance. Shao and SUYGETSU on the back foot may be able to get a spike down, and that's what they're looking for with the nades. The delay, just really putting them in a really tough spot. Ants in their pants. Smoke to give them a little bit of safety, but it could be an illusion of it. Boss Pack not quite doing too much damage to SUYGETSU.
Yeah, I was trying to force him off the plant there, but a little bit too late.
A wraparound coming through from Redgar as well. Second by second, the position of Navi gets even more complicated.
TL are anticipating a spawn. Like, look how deep Jamppi's playing, expecting them to have taken backside control.
Team Liquid actually being more patient here. The longer they wait, the more pressure is onto them. SUYGETSU is able to find the first one, and all of a sudden, they're in trouble. They don't look behind them, though. Redgar misses his first shot, but it doesn't even matter. Recovers it. Shao knows where Redgar is, but the paranoia is so good. Shao cannot run away. And for that reason, Team Liquid will be coming up on top on the power-up round.
The combo at the end takes them down.
KO.
Gorgeous out of TL. What a move out of Nats to start that round off. Navi a little bit slow to capitalize on the space down long. It was just cNed. I don't know if he ran out of TP, they didn't quite catch that, but the rest of the team stuck behind the Viper smoke. Nats takes the timing to get the kill, then Team Liquid. Very patient, making sure that Navi can't take those aggressive moves in any case in the low numbers round. That has to be a pivot from them coming in after the last game where Navi actually won a lot of rounds, like 3 versus 5. The last round of the game that prevented OT was off of Navi going just ham down long in the 3 versus 5. They push smokes a lot of the time as well, so TL very clearly going to be wary of that.
So far, I feel there's a sense of comfort within them, not scared to slow down the pace at all. Definitely play their own game, not put pressure on them, make calculated decisions. I like it, I really do. Team Liquid, composed.
One thing I will point out is SUYGETSU just 1 point away from the ultimate, so there are options if they could actually get control over a site. Unfortunately, it's a 3-stack over towards B at the moment, which is where they're currently walking into. soulcas actually changes his mind. Pass back to the opposite side, but I think the rotate call might come in fairly quickly. They're trying to sell a little bit of a fake here with Angel, maybe getting a fight, but right now, I like the way soulcas is playing, knowing that his job is to be the float for the time being, anticipating these late moves.
Not too bad of a setup here from Team Liquid, actually.
Navi's Viper wall a little bit awkward. It's more of a Showers take wall as opposed to running up 3 players down short. So they're going to hit the TP now with 25 seconds. So much utility to stall here.
Oh, good timing of the duck cover, but it doesn't cover up the upper end of it, allowing SUYGETSU with an elevated position to deliver. Harmii, oh, he's in trouble. Burnt alive, but still gets one kill. Immaculate stuff. soulcas at the back of the site. Reinforcements arriving, but the Sheriff's doing damage, surprisingly.
But the stall util, 10 seconds. They have nowhere to plant the spike.
They've got to find themselves in the center of the site here. Seekers allowing them to push even further. I think they do have it. They do indeed put the spike down. They punch it down. Zyppan punching even further. It's all down to Nats. And it's a Viper's Pit, which complicates the endeavor. And it's cNed waiting for Nats to shoot him in the back, essentially. Navi finally on the board.
That was crazy. Just a flood of utility on both sides. A miracle that Harmii stays alive to get that first kill of the fight, but here you have it, the one Guardian finds the opener, and the response from Angel comes in. I mean, they're just able to win their fights. I think Team Liquid maybe a little bit early on the retake or swinging out of heaven without the flashes connecting. It wasn't quite all there for Team Liquid, and they gave away a couple of solo fights that Navi ready to take advantage of over immediately.
Viper's Pit instantly enabled here from Team Liquid. Left side, guarding light to spot out one of the players, knowing that there's contact in that direction. Spike left behind though, Navi setting up a default.
I mean, look at this setup from Team Liquid, right? Harmii is holding with an op. The left side of Redgar, who's all the way up H.
Oh,
it's kind of crazy.
Smart positioning from Jamppi. Angel not accounting for it, caught off guard.
Yeah, but this is the thing though, Navi sort of all playing on their own right now.
Yeah.
Waiting to see if there was going to be a push, and then a bit awkward, Angel just walks in himself. He's played solo down B long now 2 times in a row. Wonder how consistent the fact that's going to be for him.
Yeah, something to account for these TPs as well. They've been moved closer to the A site. Not only is it a position to allow a quicker rotate, but it's also deeper into the camp of the defense.
Oh, found the teleport.
Oh, that's very aggressive for you, Jamppi, actually. Pushes a bit too far, no reinforcements, and ends up dropping. SUYGETSU is able to pick that one up. But with the TP of cNed coming through, he's going to attempt to move past this TP.
That clone was definitely supposed to go into
now
the
it's pushing
site.
in further. cNed is able to read it. And Team Liquid on the back foot all of a sudden. NAVI trying to push forward. soulcas on site, asking for reinforcements, but Redgar's already on the rotate.
Yeah, Redgar into Hookah here could blow up the round completely. Gives up his spot with Paranoia.
But he's done so much, right? He's delayed it. soulcas doubles up off of the Paranoia. Harmii chiming in as well, and that's beautiful from Team Liquid.
The clock ticking down, and that flank comes in from Redgar. Look for it a couple of times now. A huge move for them. Sort of riding the course for them. It's Jamppi that finds this opener. Things get a little bit awkward as Nats takes a little bit too much space into Hookah. Of course, if he gets there and there's no one actually fighting into Hookah, that's a great spot to have looking down at your opponents. But yeah, Jamppi's just him. Redgar too.
Redgar's like, did you see that, guys? Did you see that? The soulcas did a lot that round, right? Holding onto the round, waiting for the rotates, getting 3 kills by the end of it. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. All started off from their positioning, catching NAVI off guard a little. And I think that's what NAVI need to do. Recuperate a bit, see what their game plan is. They try to play a default, remind you, this round. Bit too spread out, maybe a bit overzealous, losing players early. But yeah. I feel that there needs to be some decision-making a bit early on the round, not really rely on the mid-round calls.
Yeah, I also think that if you're trying to walk up B-long solo, that's just a tough, like, regardless of how that fight played out, like, if you're walking up there solo,
risky.
We've all seen the sky flash around the corner and you're cooked. So that's something that you usually need a friend with playing anti-flash when you're working down there, or like a Fnatic like to throw like a molly on that corner so that you can't get swung into. Types of ideas like this.
Oh, we saw a lineup early, very early in this game with Nats throwing the snakebite there as well.
And I will show this A setup again, because Harmii is liking to play up on this elevated spot with the operator. And again, Redgar is pushing, because why not? They didn't see this exactly last round. So a really nice setup, I think. Unless you get flooded by like 4 players from the left side, then you're cooked, but...
Oh, backstab coming in from Jamppi. Zyppan is not looking, and neither is SUYGETSU. Sprays a bit rough, but gets the job done. Flash coming through from Angel, but gets caught off guard by Redgar. Oh, dear me. Shao, the only guy with Sheriff.
All right, scout utility is very important, it would seem, on this map.
It do be that indeed.
Of course, there's no Sentinel to guard the flanks. There's also no Raze on this team of NAVI to have the free clear towards Hookah, so Team Liquid out of the pause, immediately punishing that. You gotta love to see it.
Last player standing.
No individual priors there. I love that cNed try to mask his position by placing his clone in front of him, but didn't quite work out as planned. We've got to connect your shots in that endeavor, but I feel like the story has already been told in this one. That's all she wrote. Harmii with a final kill in it. Team Liquid starting to run away with this.
Yeah, I mean, just a great call coming out of the ML after the timeout. And the thing is, this is the first time they've really done it from B to A quickly like this. We've seen the late lurks. Usually it's like Redgar coming in as the solo flanker. But what a move to send it just on a couple of players. Especially with how slowly NAVI are playing, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, similar to like their Fracture setup, which was usually a bit more labored of an approach, you know, watching for pushes, then slowly working up afterwards.
A slow burn style, for
whoa,
sure.
whoa, 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 whoa! A Paranoia forcing the teleport, I believe, out of cNed.
Harmii is isolated, he's all by himself, but can he get himself out of this position? Bumps his head against cNed, but he's in a different realm.
He got the spike.
That's important.
What is happening?
Harmii is struggling to figure out what he's got to do here. He's got to scramble himself by getting a kill, but eventually drops. And that's how you really eliminate that situation. But
Harmei's just like, there's a poltergeist on me. I can't move. There's ghosts stopping my path. It's brutal.
The thing is, even throughout that chaos, NAVI haven't gained any advantage by gaining space yet.
Have gained a couple of big kills off of the Hookah aggression.
But they've got to fight for space.
Yeah, this could be a little bit complicated. This spot that Nats is playing, just trying to punish, maybe swinging into the smoke or looking to throw down mollies. He's still got one in the tank, so can look to spam if the clock winds down.
Oh dear. for Navi to push this in. This is the best case scenario for Team Liquid. This is their setup. This is their hold. Snakebite as well. That's delaying them even further. No rotation coming in from Jamppi. He's confident that his team can hold it off. Poison Cloud dropped as well, but he cannot enable it due to the no command. Nats finding the first one. Zyppan on top. Oh, but a strike drops, meaning there's no help available here from soulcas, but he finds a gap to work with.
It's all going to be soulcas here. Playing through his teammate Smokesy. Here's the footsteps.
He's going to have to come off huge. Jamppi only just started moving to help.
Spike planted.
Smoke deteriorates, and that's when soulcas shoots.
Find you.
Might keep the score a little bit closer, but this is punching upwards.
Jamppi has an operator here on the retake. If he gets a kill, he can pop Seekers and have perfect info on 3 players.
They've got to expect Yampi's gone all the way around, right?
No one's going to give him a fight.
Absolutely not. Very composed by Navi, knowing no risk to be taken here. They're not going to give Team Liquid a chance.
soulcas needed an earlier kill if they wanted to convert this round. It didn't end up happening, so it's going to turn into a save. Maybe soulcas sends himself into the fray. He's got a lot of cash. So
they know he's there. They know he's there. They're going to be wary of it, pushing through the Poison Cloud. Ooh, maybe to bait someone into the TP.
Actually, okay, that's low-key kind of really clever, I think. The idea being that a lot of people will like overcommit to positions on site to run out on the last second TP. So by him having control over the TP and getting there before the explosion, maybe someone ends up dying to Spike and they end up throwing it into them. Here you have it though, the early play. I like the initial idea. Unfortunately, because Navi are playing the spread out approach, you have Angel that's always lurking down B long, ready to punish that second player coming in. That's the overstep from TL. The one, maybe okay. The second, too much and no position to trade.
The thing is, frustration from both coaches here. Doesn't matter if you don't know who Emil and who Doombros is.
Yeah, they traded jerseys back, by the way.
Yeah, they're back to normal jerseys, get that confusion out of there. But still, it's troubling.
The more I see these rounds coming in from Navi, like, TL's idea of looking to like group up and push plays, whether it's contact or whether it is with utility, they've thrown a mix, it's very good. Because of the way that Navi are just sort of 5-pointing it, maybe there's 2 players on short, or they put 2 players on one spot. I think TL can gamble a lot of these rounds. And
oh, Harmei's aggressive. Oh, good early pick.
Perfect. Like, Navi plays so slowly, why not creep forward like this? And they haven't been diligent like winning out in those fights either.
No. Given grand opportunities, and Harmii is loving life, really, being able to pick so many picks early on.
Oh, I've got an issue.
Yeah?
Redgar has a judge, and they're about to work into hookah. What do they have to scout? No dog. They've got flashes for days, like literally 6 flashes. This comp is overloaded.
True.
Out the wazoo with flashes.
Epilepsy warning.
Here we go.
One comes through, they know that Redgar's nearby. Pre-shot by cNed. Judge, no impact. soulcas to the back of the site. Jamppi calls to action, but it's Nats to drop first on his way to rotate through TP. Jamppi, yet to be dealt with. 20 seconds. Navi have to cross. Very crucial sideline. Team Liquid have rotated over. They think it's a fake. Yampi's going to do it alone. Spike drops. Jamppi does it alone! No assistance needed. He's the gatekeeper here. The B-side is his.
You can say that again, my God. I mean, Jamppi, this guy's insane. I mean, the spot here, the first kill, just getting it on the nice timing around, but then in the Matrix, bullets going all around him.
Nice!
Redgar's loving it.
He's proud of his boys. Every time one of these players just does well, he's like, yes, man. Proud of him.
Again, Team Liquid posting up Harmii for the deep spot on the operator. The first rounds was all about the close A short. Right now it's out of showers. Now it's down B long.
And Harmii again pushing forwards.
The thing is though, Navi are much more prepared, right? Because they're leaning completely towards B. They've always got 2 or 3 players ready to go.
Oh, evades the flash. Oh, zero command spotted him.
I mean, he's totally safe though, because he just slams the TP if he ever gets in trouble. If there was a player outside showers, then he's in a bit tougher of a spot.
Yeah, but it leaves the B side a little bit more risky, right?
This is something they were always going to have to contribute to. But double teleport, double TP into hookah. This is where the fight's going to be. 2 players inside of the pit to lock them down.
I feel that the fight has already happened though, right? Because they've eliminated every player on the B side without a trade.
100%. The TP was meant to come in to distract the players in hookah, pull them back. But as soon as the ult goes down, the fight's a little bit easier to focus on.
Redgar's really giving it a go. Are you serious? Is this a fight they're willing to take? They're so low, but they don't care. Zyppan to the back of the site still, delivering with 2. All right. I was actually surprised Team Liquid actually wanted to go for that one, but still, Navi will be able to win this in the end and still seem to have a grasp on this game.
Yeah, I must say, even with the changes to Bind, I still think a lot of the truth around B site being really tough to retake is definitely true. Widening up CT makes it a little simpler on that area, but once you lose that side, especially down in numbers, getting back in real tough for Team Liquid. And I think this is a great pivot from Navi. Of course, like, they get into the site, no problem, but...
That was just, oh, okay, I'm on.
Getting deep flashed a little bit right there, but it doesn't end up mattering at the end of the day. I think the start of the round is where I saw the improvement. Now, will it end up getting punished if there is a flank coming in that now they're not looking for? Or do they just simply not worry about that and deal with it later on, like they did when they turned around to deal with that teleport? Because again, seems like for a moment it could be a heavier lean towards A, but instead, they throw like an early flash from cNed? No, cNed just went down long, I believe, to get scouted by the Hawk, intentionally showing that one, instantly running over because they want to slam into A, but pretend there's a player on B.
He doesn't connect the shot though. Drops back into safety of the site. 3 in the defense of the A site. Navi pull the brakes. Stand still. This is putting question marks to Team Liquid's minds. Is there a rotate Prowler to seek it out?
Yeah,
they know they're still around.
No one down long. So yeah, Hookah's potentially a concern, but they are now ready for an A hit in the coming moments.
And you can already see Nats moving to the back of the B site to quickly rotate to A site if is required. Paint source towards Showers. cNed TPing in, unscathed, knowing that that's going to be the clone, not pulling the trigger, but still, it is going to be Zyppan looking to move in, forcing his way, brute force. And the spike going down, Team Liquid, not there on time.
Nats has to find an opener once these smokes pop away. But there was a third one ready to go, so now eyes go over to Jamppi.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Shot to the back. Nats forced out.
Yeah, changes triple, make it a little easier to play on that side. So a little bit of a hunt for cNed, chasing down Nats. Not going to pay off at the end. But all things considered, that was a great example of an entry into sight, because the TP from cNed wasn't too deep, right? Still relatively protected TP into triple instead of going like all the way into the backside. And then it's just flash overload. You cannot play behind that attacking Viper wall in the cubby. You see those 2 X's right there? There's no way you can play in that spot. The double Hawk flash is coming around the corner. Angel too, if he's on that side, like, it is over for you. U-Haul control possible, fighting for Showers early possible. But holding a spot forward on site, not going to be doable. And Navi have shown they can exploit that now.
I feel like Team Liquid, twice in a row, were in positions that they had near impossible opportunities to retake and gave it a go either way, causing them to lose weapons and be in a worse situation they are economically.
Yeah. I mean, the 3 players they lose at the start, right? Those are the players on the side, but I do agree a little bit looking for the extra kill. I think late in the round, though, I want to say their money is doing fairly good. I know they've got a buy going into this next one. I'm fairly certain. So I think maybe hunting is a little bit of the idea there. Maybe you take a chance, if you get a kill, then you can try to play it through. But I think Team Liquid, what they really need is a better defense here on A. Now they know, okay, it's going to be a TP, potentially into triple, maybe has some deeper ones into the back site, because if you're just laying down flash after flash, that is going to be brutal. You cannot really turn all of them when they're throwing towards you. Yeah, maybe one Sky Flash you can dodge away, but when there's Sky on Yoru, it comes really hard. The one thing I will say is there's a Yoru ult coming into this round, and your ult is so good, especially if they move over to the B site. Very easy to scout out B in its entirety and then hold forward positions for the post plant. A as well, it's going to be effective. No matter where they end up going, he has so many options in terms of clearing out the actual site and forcing Team Liquid to fall back into the retake, which we know is tough.
Margin's starting to get slimmer here, really. Bit of a comeback for Navi, considering their early misfortunes.
I gotta say, base TL out of the timeout, they're throwing the sick wall. They've been throwing the old school walls, but now they're actually using the teleport to cover off 3 different entry points into sites, which I like.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Starting it over on B. Saw Fnatic do this the other day. But Navi back to their old ways, scouting out for the early push. Surprisingly, double Prowler into Showers as well as the dog. I think I don't think the Prowler got shot. It just doesn't reach that far anymore. So they wanted the dog to scout out behind the wall. And there you have it again, soulcas finding a pick. Team Liquid have been so ridiculously successful finding these picks in the mid-round.
They've been brilliant. They're really not giving Navi a chance to play off of a disadvantage, but they have been able to do it for a few more rounds. Redgar with a paranoia dropping through, but cNed is able to read it! And quickly shut down. They lose one of their controllers. Still have SUYGETSU to try and blockade some of these entrances, but they're already in due to the ult of cNed.
Yeah, here you have it though, scouting out soulcas. He's forced to go back off of the angle. And that means easy plant, easy control over towards triple and bench.
I feel this is one of the juiciest retakes we've been able to see. We've got 4 on each of the sides.
And Jamppi looking for a flank option. He'll hear this teleport. If cNed's forced off of site too, potentially just have an instant shot.
Angel will be there to greet Jamppi though, if the timing serves him right. cNed blocked into the site. Team Liquid still looking to move in. Spray, Angel is there, like I said. Jamppi looking to pick through, it's accurate timing, and Angel is there to get it. Fade into the side, Zyppan wanting not to shoot it, but Harmii comes out on top. Team Liquid have turned it all around, switching the script. Angel, how can he do it? The captain of the team finds one, but he's pressured from too many directions and elevations. Team Liquid will just be successful on the retake to find themselves the 7th round on the board.
Team Liquid just join at the hips and doomball it their way through the site. Crazy, trading off one another. While Navi were worried, falling back to the flank with the teleport, a couple players off site. Left their players stranded a little bit, the ones that were actually fully committed on forward. And it starts off with the most ambitious play I've seen today.
He was barely in range to see the TP come in front of him.
But there you have it, right? 2 players dying on Navi's side without a player behind them.
Yep.
Because they were focused a little bit more on turning for that flank.
7-4, last round of the half.
And the forward push.
And oh, potential for a double there, but it's just a trade.
Yeah, I mean, at worst, doubling up there should just be a 1-for-1, so they can fall back here. I mean, TL 2 ultimates, 1 off on Nats and soulcas, so if Nats finds a pick onto a player walking into hookah, that pit goes down and it's just about over. Now, if Navi want to brute force their way in, they still have all their flashes. Angel still can pop the ult to get to the site. They're using it pretty early while they're still scouting down towards long, making sure this Viper wall can't actually be thrown up. And that should give them the site, turning into a 4-on-4 retake.
Team Liquid successful on the A site retake the round before this one.
Navi had to use all their post-plant util though, just to clear out corners, stop players pushing through the smoke, so they'd have to fight their way through here.
Navi sticking around in the fight.
Oh, he just ulted into his own spawn. Sorry, Redgar just ulted into his own spawn. Now Navi are so concerned about a flank.
Angel pushing forwards, looking to put pressure on Team Liquid, not letting them to set up with a fight. Isolated, they're being kicked up one by one. Paranoia coming through, it's accurate for Redgar, but unable to find it. The crossfire is good. Team Liquid unable to find an opening here. Maybe a barrel of a weapon to be spotted, but that's all it is. 7-5 will be the score at halftime. Navi close up the gap.
Navi hold their ground forward in the site. Team Liquid 1 by 1 just knocked down.
Smokes can block the enemy's line of sight.
Little retake simulator towards the end of the half right here. Traded both ways. So often coming to the team that was able to play a little bit more together walking into the site. Angel's able to just take the first one there. Harmii coming out with the showstopper in hand, sends that one on through, but those forward spots, like I was saying, you can't afford to play off-site without that utility. Navi identified that and weren't going to allow TL into any of the chokes.
Fine was definitely notoriously known to be defense-sided prior to the changes. Obviously, the changes were there to aid the attackers a little bit more. Whether that aids them substantially is still a question to be answered, as we need to see it more in pro play.
Now though on defense,
but this is really close.
Yeah, this is where I'm like, okay, we get to see a little bit of Yor on the defense, because on attack, he sort of used the TP cNed did to go for the more shallow teleports into the site, whether it was over towards triple. A lot of times he was using fakes just to get people to turn their heads around. Wasn't going for the most ambitious, risky TPs, which I think is maybe a pivot you have to make when you're playing at the highest level, but on the defense, there are some wild options you can get into. Again, if the teams aren't playing, 4-point and holding all those exits, sending a teleport out, looking for a deep one, especially when it's, going to be on a lighter buy. So you can get a little bit riskier with how you do it, or just play the simple fast rotate game, where instantly, if there's any pressure on the site you're not playing, you've already got a TP primed and ready to go. To make sure that you can always have 3 or sometimes even 4 on a site instantly to fight back.
Starting to get hot in here, man. I feel the pressure, and I think these teams are feeling it as well.
It's because the lights are on. No, the pressure too. I agree.
The pressure too, the lights, the camera, the action.
It's also bind. We spent most of the year on Icebox, chilling out, and now just the sun, man.
In the desert.
Yeah, I got sunburnt a little bit today. Yeah, it's tough.
The sun was out. Getting sunburnt in Berlin.
It's nice. And now, Navi are just sunburning Team Liquid. 6 flashes, ready to go. Claudia, I also believe in you. Respect. Get the grind going. Queue up for Premier.
We'll make it. We'll make it.
That's the path to pro. Gold, Premier, pro player, VCT.
Easy. It's one of those stepping stones.
Done.
One of those stepping stones.
Maybe a few more steps in between, but that'll get the job done.
Time to jump.
Oh, looking at a bit of a proactive play here from Navi. Into short. Team Liquid opting to the opposite side. Telegraphed by the Navi side as a Trailblazer's been shot in front of him. Smoke's already expended.
Quick double flank from Navi with the option to pop through this teleporter too on Angel.
Oh, Jamppi drops.
Setup.
SUYGETSU wins this fight. Team Liquid have yet to push forwards, which means this crunch will be impactful. They don't expect it. Maybe they do, but it doesn't even matter. Zyppan coming out on top, allowing soulcas to be all by himself.
We didn't see much of this from Team Liquid on the defense, but using that teleport in the util just to lock down any entrance.
I still have got to say that soulcas is in this, right? Zyppan and cNed are very low. They know where he is, but
he has to get to the spike. They're wrapping around him. I think the numbers here are so tough.
And he's been downed quite low as well. Very nicely done by Navi. Proactivity
100%.
Working like a charm.
And we will see. I think one of the things is when you're using like the Sky Dog to go through hookah, it's a little bit more committal, right? As opposed to just throwing the boom bot and going in. But I believe there was a snake bite on this as well. Or it's just the decay from the orb that was enough to just one-shot it with that one. I thought there was a little vulnerability on top, but very simple utility. They have to get a little bit more creative, right? Because they're not rocking the Rays. Usually Rays would be that A short player that can throw the paint shells on through and capitalize off of the utility. But with running the Yoru, the real damaging utility is going to be there. Pretended to be a clone, by the way. Kept sprinting all the way into the wall. It only has so long before the TP runs out backside.
Natus has gone for a little bit of a walk here. Sneaky boy. Doesn't go for the knife. A bit of a disrespect in that regard, but no, gets the job done. That's the important part.
Another funky little lurk wall. Helps for a showers plant if you want, but also does block off U-Haul backside to get that cheeky little reach from Nats.
There.
Yes, that's a bathroom.
Well done. Stay away.
Ooh, Redgar hiding out in a corner. I don't think many check this. But Shao does.
Shao does. We had so much faith. Didn't even matter. Now the real threat of a lurk is on the cards. Team Liquid can't really teleport back into B because the positioning is so bad. So you kind of want to sprint down and just plant the spike. Nats would prefer to fight to the death. Respect.
Respect, indeed.
I think Team Liquid are winning this round.
30 seconds left.
Strong words.
Spike planted.
They've been so good on the low buys. And Jamppi, look, Jamppi's got a ghost, man. I don't know.
All doable. Just because of the ghost, by the way.
Yeah, but how do you get back into U-Haul here? No flashes on Angel. There's 3 players ready to go.
They're locked out, but they really want to fight for this lamps control.
The Molly didn't actually hit anything either out of Shao, so he thinks that area is spotted off, but it's not.
Guiding light early. Jamppi has no more. Might not have the opportunity to use it again. soulcas speaking out, not successful with his own kill, meaning he will have to drop quickly. Fights towards lamps, so he gets to alone. Bulldog in hand, moves off of it. They know of it now. And that's why Team Liquid not taking the fight, playing it together. Nicely done. Clean performance by Team Liquid to end up with the dub and survive with both Bulldogs as well.
And Nats This guy, man.
Look,
just
we
getting ratty with the
criticized
wall.
him for not performing that previous map, but now
Yeah,
he's stepping it
finding
up.
he's finding the moments here. You can see that pathway all the way around. No one, it doesn't matter if you have teammates on the site, unless someone's playing back triple, which no one's really going to be playing back triple when you're playing forward in showers.
Sneaky
It's
boy.
just over.
No drama.
That's something that's going to be weighing on the minds of Navi from now on.
Ooh. Frustration.
I do think you do see a bit of a slight weakness, not having something like the Fade perhaps to do some early scouting. Yeah, of course you have the flash on Sky, not perfect information. Yeah, you have the knife from Angel too. But Angel's been holding on to that for a couple of rounds now.
And it feels like Navi are trying to put orbs onto Shao and Zyppan, trying to build those crucial ultimates that could have quite the strength, denying that from Team Liquid. soulcas. Clever of him to be wary that a position like that can be taken over by Navi.
Yeah, this defensive Viper wall is very good for showers control, orbs control, like you're mentioning. Even the early pushes with the flash behind it. Angel decides not to give up the ground, as a matter of fact.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Bit rough on the cNed side, but obviously with
Yeah,
just
but
the
Angel found
classic.
another one outside of Shao. Like, the man just kept going.
Shao! He jumps above! Stunned! Doesn't close the job. Which means Team Liquid can move into the B site, but I feel damage has already been done. Quite possible for Navi.
Trying to bait a push out of the defense, but the fights aren't coming yet for TL.
That's a deep plant. Actually, that's really important for Team Liquid because now they can play in the depths of the site and won't be visible to Angel's cross. Redgar isolating, beautifully done. Jamppi taken down, allowing now Redgar to be into a 1v2. Angel has to be dealt with, but can't do it. Angel from above, like the Angel is from the skies. And there you have it, Navi close up the gap. 7th round now in the bag.
Angel, I mean, the double push down out of showers, finding an opportunity to get a great punish. Because literally his teammate fell back. And he was like, actually, yeah, no, I'm fine. I will keep fighting. Then you have Shao finding one kill up in hookah. Just individuals shining for a moment here and there for Navi, winning out in these rounds for them.
Love the crowd today.
Oh yeah. It is loud in this one.
I'll find you.
Team Liquid not in the best state of things. Jamppi and Harmii, the players to keep your eyes on. Coincidentally, they're also the ones taking the biggest chance stepping forward.
There.
cNed will just dip out of that one. So, falls apart a little bit. But I do like the way Navi have played to gather control over Octagon. One of the things I used to talk about a lot on Bind was on both sites, the defenders want to control one of the two big chokes, whether it's on B site, Hookah, Octagon, or on A, Showers or U-Haul. If you have one of those, retaking is much more doable.
And that's going to have quite a big collapse here. The snake bites are exchanged. The cNed moving in with his team. Orbital strike. Where did that land? Towards short. cNed delivering. Nice little first shot. Team Liquid need to bounce back from this, and it's a blast back to finish the job against cNed. Sight is really being fought over. No retake here. Navi want to fight this right here, right now. Taking a stand. Spike hasn't even got the space to be comfortable to get that spike down eventually, forcing them to take the TP and cross to the other side of the map.
These Seekers going to track them for a while. They know the positioning of soulcas down on the lurk, so there's going to be two players on Navi ready for that one, trying to cut that off at the source.
They know of Nats as well.
Planted.
Yeah, they know everyone's over towards B, and the one in spawn. Zyppan tracks that perfectly. Now retaking, still not the simplest thing in the world. There's a lot of spots TL can be.
Oh, it was really tough for Nats, given he only had a ghost, given it his best, which allows Redgar to no longer be relevant really in this round. Navi actually square things up. The comeback, 8-8.
Yeah, TL. For a second there, looked like they might have a chance, even with just the two rifles coming in. But the Seekers, when there's just 3 players alive, is so strong. I think they also knew soulcas has a tendency to play over towards showers when it ends up being these A hits. They tracked him just about perfectly.
Anyone else?
Is the blast pack still under him? And then the vulnerable plus decay, that's what kills him.
Okay, that was a
From beyond the grave, Harmii gets the kill. Look, there's a lot of noise on that site. He couldn't hear the bomb ticking underneath him.
But even if he did, he didn't have anywhere to go, to be honest.
That's also very true. He shoots it, it also just blows up, so tough life.
Ooh, there's a gap through the smoke?
No, just going for the spam on the angle there. I actually would have liked to see cNed maybe jump into the teleporter and then slam the TP just for maximum confusion. But regardless, he's back in it now.
Yeah. Not having that health would have really done damage to his confidence in this round. Being able to post up in aggressive positions on that operator. Spike still left behind. This attempt from Team Liquid isn't to really put pressure here to push. It's more to navigate Na'Vi and lure them in a specific side of the map.
Yeah, but there was no smoke down, and just the peek from CT murders Harmii. When you lose the Rays, taking that B site so tough. It's really hard to get out of hookah without any kind of dive or movement ability. I'd like to think they signal back into A, but the call is B for now, and this dog will end up catching out. Wait, no.
Yeah, they're trying to fake off this.
Oh, he heard Jamppi fall down. That's why he turned it around.
Jamppi trying to push through with a shorty, unable to do it. Na'Vi winning out most of their trades. This Viper split will complicate the endeavor and giving Team Liquid a chance. But look how Na'Vi have pushed forwards. They don't want to allow this with a retake. Going even further. In the midst of it. Sneaky, together, holding hands.
15 seconds, they're going to have to plant. No
with Angel's existence still, they can't use utility. Spike to be planted. Flash through. cNed's position is red. Wonderfully done. And now it's down to SUYGETSU to do it alone. They know where he is, and he's spammed. Which allowed Team Liquid to grab the victory, edge up ahead, and get on that 9th round.
That was wild. Jamppi hears the dog going out, says, I can catch him. Goes down. He ends up falling, but the rest of the team immediately in behind. A great pivot, working into the weaker side of the map late in the round, even after they'd lost their dive. And this is something they've been tasked with all day long, is when Harmii falls, who's going to be the guy to step up? And it's been Jamppi so many times in a row. Then the post plant, I think cNed getting a little ambitious, trying to stop the plant on his own. It turns it into 2-1s, and TL are going to make that simple work for themselves.
Feels like Na'Vi wants to keep Team Liquid on their toes. Sometimes I feel like they need to just slow it down a bit, compose themselves, and get those timings right. That's where Team Liquid end up on top, winning some of these trades and keeping that numbers advantage.
For now, they hear this jump peak. They could try to swing out wide here and get the spam. Ooh, I think if Jamppi was maybe a little bit more to the left, maybe a better chance there. But the idea is there with the double swing.
Team Liquid often defaulting the past few rounds. I feel like Guiding Light was headed towards hookah.
Yeah. Now they're going to be dogging in. The dog also, I don't believe, saw soulcas outside of A.
It may have just at the last second there, which is why the paranoia is expended.
Oh, sorry, I meant outside of Showers. This was going to turn into an A hit because they dodged away from that utility. Now they're trying to pinch into the Showers player that they know is there.
But Zyppan is so deep into the back of the site. cNed reads the position, and the site is still defended by Na'Vi. Jamppi moving forwards together with Nats. Flash, blind as a bat, but Zyppan is able to find a killer's finishing blow. Harmii, the sub, trying to salvage it. But it's just too much pressure, delivering with one, but Shao there to reply. Na'Vi, keep this on close leash.
Yeah, TL with the Omen ult are really trying to work back into A after showing the presence of their dog into hookah, right? Pull a rotation, maybe they can have 3 players. If a Yoru TP's over there, maybe it's a 4 leaning towards B if you make enough noise. And then the 2 players can scale up quickly onto A, but I think an early fight taken out here. I mean, it's just a wide swing from Zyppan. You got to respect that. soulcas gun just wasn't out in time. Also a good track from cNed, like you said, onto the Omen ult into heaven, so everything gets shut down. On paper, that looks fantastic from Team Liquid, but in execution, Na'Vi won out every single spot.
Team Liquid are also economically reset here. Showstopper from Harmii. Desperate measure. A desperate attempt. Does pay off. Shower drops, but I feel like that was destined for Angel. But Angel's got a sneaky position to take her forward. Trigger disciplined by Angel. Doubles up. Not quite the triple, but the damage has been done. Rotations have come through from Na'Vi. Everybody is on this B side.
Full scouting, though, from cNed. He sees 1, 2, 3. Can get up into hookah. Has flashes to work his team into the side as well.
So much information there from Na'Vi. First kill collected by cNed. Can they stabilize? Spike in the middle of the site, and it's Redgar Nats to bring it all back in their favor. Zyppan resets. Team Liquid both looking in this direction. Baiting the spike again. Moving, inching forwards. Both still holding, and both shall stand. Double digits for Team Liquid.
In the 2-on-1, they're cold as ice. TL only tapping the spike to bait it. Redgar even got a smoke up, but he's not using it because they isolated where Zyppan was. They want to double hold that angle. If you smoke it, it lets him cross. He can come at you from elbow. So many more options alive. So they lock it down even after things got hairy. Harmii only had the one satchel left, so the pathing to site a bit awkward because he went very high up into the air. Wasn't able to get all the way into back sight. But at the end of it all, the double hold good enough with a 2-on-1. That's all they needed with the entry was Harmii to trade at least one. And they take it.
This is turning out to be quite the banger. Oh, I feel like Team Liquid was one of those teams that we counted out of the fight for the top 3 very early in this season, given their first loss, right? I think everybody was thinking, right, okay, they got bested early on. Does that mean they're still in the fight? No, they've improved quite a bit, gradually getting better, refining some of their weak comings, and now potentially fighting for that second spot. And it shows, given that you can replace aspects of it and still be super strong.
That's the thing, right? You always knew that TL had the talent, and then, I mean, even just with like some of the pivots they made after timeouts, I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely see the vision in what they're trying to do, but the fact that they are going even with NAVI without Safe? Like, Safe is nuts, dude.
He's crazy.
Actually, he solo won the maps before. Just a ridiculous performance. And the rest of Team Liquid has just been stepping up here to give themselves a shot and now leading up against NAVI.
Many would have jitters on their first showing in VCT. But Harmii really holding on his own.
I think Team Liquid have done a great job to support in from behind him. We're watching this round, though, because there's options for a very quick flank. 2 players out of NAVI as it's a quick scale up. What?
That's important. NAVI, this is a weaker buy for them. This isn't meant to be a victory, but more to find damage on the Team Liquid side. But Zyppan just doesn't miss. Tappity tap tap. One by one, they shall fall. And Harmii, with a judge, is stuck in lamps. They know where he is, and SUYGETSU, all he has to do is keep his distance. I mean, why even go in there?
Uh-oh.
NAVI only had 2 rifles and they were Guardians. The rest were Sheriffs.
Honestly, I think if everyone unplugged their computers and Zyppan just played that round with the Guardian, he would win it on his own. This guy was crisp. I mean, swinging around, understanding how this Viper wall works, you have a slight angle. This is the weakness of the wall. There is a slight little spot where you can swing out from back triple. Zyppan identifies it, finds the first, then finds more afterwards somehow, by some miracle. Now Team Liquid have absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's a complete topsy-turvy when it comes to this economy because NAVI quickly picked up all the Vandals that were there and have boosted up their economy as quickly as that.
I mean, with the way that NAVI, too, have just been farming orbs onto Shao, like they had another ultimate in the last round. Maybe looking to grab one on Zyppan here, but with some early fight, they don't want a chance getting spammed through the smoke. Oh boy.
Does it create enough space? I don't think so. The follow-up doesn't come in soon enough. Zyppan is unchallenged, unfazed, cold as ice. And the fact that he's confident to just not go for another push here, knowing the damage has already been done, I love it.
Angels on a mission. Working out those legs right now, running down over towards Fountain, towards Long B.
I feel like it's more of a tiptoe.
He was running for a long time. Now he's like, it's like high intensity interval training, right? Went for the sprint, then went for the walk, then pulled out a rifle. Don't really know where that went.
No,
but
that's, yeah. Okay,
fair enough.
He got his. NAVI in the lead. Feel for the second time this series. Team Liquid, not this series, this map. Feel Team Liquid have throughout most of it, had their opponents' number. This is where the situation starts to change.
Yeah, they got to be able to lock it down here. And I have to say, sort of watching the pathing of Harmii a couple of times getting into the site, I don't think the movement has been perfect on him. He's going very high, like he's going into the stratosphere at times. And I think especially when you're coming in at a higher elevation already from Puka, you can get the angle to be a little bit more horizontal. So you're going like parallel with the ground. You can actually get down onto the ground backside earlier, play off your teammate's utility, and have less time to just get shot straight out of the air, because that was just duck hunting out of Zyppan in the corner, tracking the Rays' flight.
Team Liquid have got to win this map. They're already a map down. This is their map pick. they want a chance in this series, if they want to be able to solidify that second spot, well, it won't be solidifying it, but at least we'll...
I mean, you have the head-to-head.
Boast them up straight away. It's the head-to-head.
You instantly,
exactly.
everyone will instantly say you're the second best team. Like, you beat Navi with a substitute. Like, come on.
Instantly.
So, yeah, we'll have to see. I think, obviously, defense went relatively well for them. Attack, they've only been able to get the 2 rounds. Jamppi has the Seekers. If they want to get any information in the mid-round, I think that can be impactful. Because now they've gotten flanked on a couple of times. That's something they have to consider. No Sentinel, no true lockdown for them to keep that under wraps. And actually a deeper Viper wall this time around for Team Liquid. Much more like an ignore showers, ignore triple, get the spike down, but hard to plant when there's so much spam that can go through that thing. Also options for Raze to satchel on top of truck if it works into an A hit and then fight into backside. This time around, Navi are not playing too quick out. Instead, it'll actually be cNed with the operator posting down over towards showers. And with how soulcas is sort of late played into showers, that could be punished, although he's been very diligent with the Prowler, so that's not going to happen in the here
It's a collapse. They're going to go aggressive with this Harmii. Going to double fast back in. SUYGETSU is able to find it, but does it open up enough space? Nats does find one. Seekers right off the back of it. He does
It's a
get
club.
into
It's a club.
the
They wanted to pivot into the teleports. This entire time, Redgar was playing outside hookah. He didn't actually take space. There's still a player on site. Shao has to fight to the death and keep him out.
So high impact position he's got. Spray down to the first, that's a spike. They know exactly what's going on. The rotations are now there. Shao's done exactly what he needed to do, but everybody's blind and they don't know where to shoot. But it's still going to be Navi on top. No, scratch that. Team Liquid have turned it right back around. soulcas so difficult to get out of this one. He's only got an operator, 43 points of health. Cannot use his ult in time. And we're down to a one-on-one. Spike in no man's land.
The ult did not tag SUYGETSU.
SUYGETSU looks around, but he gets back in position in time. Spray down, bullet to the chest, and Navi, map and series points.
soulcas thought he was safe from spawn. Was concerned maybe about an elbow, but no. Loses it out in the end. And Shao with the hold, with the comms of the team coming in, even just having the smoke to stall out for a few extra seconds, you saw how hard it is. How do you get out without a raise? There's a molly on the ground, there's a smoke there, so you just sacrifice your life. And who do you not want sacrificing your life? Jamppi. If he's falling at the start, oh, that is absolutely tough for them. And now getting really aggressive down long.
Oh, look at this. So aggro, the flash works out. Look at Charm, Zyppan. So damn strong for Navi today. Not holding back at all. Wants to finish this right here, right now. And goodness me, there's one round required to do so. Oh, Nats, he's on the case back again.
Whoa, too much out of Shao. 4 versus 3 and jump peeking there. Gives it up.
Exactly.
Now Team Liquid, they just have to walk together. They're very concerned about a potential flank. It could be something for them.
The thing on having 3 players on defense is that you've got to spread them out across the map. Isolation for the attackers is much more feasible.
But the repush down long, I love this out of Angel. He's been taking some gamble plays, but that is one I can absolutely get behind. When the clock dwindles down and this ends up being an A-hit from TL, he can also instantly activate on the teleport. With only 3 players alive, very unlikely they spread out and play a single player in showers. So he has the ability to pinch in, try to stall out the plant with all the tools he has at his disposal.
I feel like the smoke might still be working against him because he won't be able to find the information quick enough. Viper's Pit enabled instantly.
Oh, it's just a true flank from Angel. He is booking it.
But he has to be quick. SUYGETSU's in the fight. He's going to have the all-crucial position. Jamppi doesn't know he's there. Spray down through, but he can't deliver. Surely kill in his face. And all of a sudden, Team Liquid have got the upper hand. Was that cNed's flash? And it doesn't matter that Angel comes in on the backstab because the Viper's Pit is continuing and guarding light. Read perfectly. Nats can't find the shots. Angel still alive. cNed comes in. How has it turned the tide like that? cNed on the operator in line, but it's Jamppi to win it. Team Liquid, they're holding on, not giving up. 11 rounds, and they want overtime.
Back and forth, Mahar can't take it. Inside the pit. That is cNed's flash. That catches him somehow, but Jamppi turns away from it, sees it coming. Off the ground. And he clutches the round with a wide swing. cNed, elbow into the table.
Slamming, bashing, kicking.
Just
frustrated, in a tantrum. Team Liquid. really breaking the morale here.
Whoa.
And may be able to use it to their advantage. Aggressive to the back end and still comes out on top. Shao, they don't have the brim. No more. Not quite sure, but he may have had his ultimate. Zyppan, Angel, they're bringing it right back up. Team Liquid have fumbled. soulcas trying to bring it back, but it's so damn confusing. The fight's happening everywhere.
Spike is out in the middle of nowhere, but only 2 players left. They have to act quickly. There's now the entire team of NAVI.
Grand Paranoia, but soulcas is still there. But Redgar finds an upper angle, cNed shutting him down, and soulcas, he's got to do it against 2. They know where he is, shoots, the clone flashed. They know where he is, cannot use abilities, flashed over and over again. The man is blinded.